Yo, yo, and hello and welcome to the 142nd episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning high definition, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter to never miss an episode and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Jafra, alongside Brent. Everybody wants to rule the world Bass.
What's up, man? How's life treating you?
It's treating me fair. You know,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. That's a good term.
Fair?
Fair.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
All those watching, you know, on the YouTube channel, you probably notice we're in a different setup. I have moved apartments, so we're testing out new ways to film this. You know, I don't know how well this is looking, but
Yeah, we're working on the setup here. You know, our sign is a little bit out of whack here, but you know, we're doing it. We're doing our thing.
Making things pop.
We're making things pop, you know. We're happy about this. I just walked around the grounds with Jamel. The grounds.
Yes.
We walked the grounds together, and it's pretty sweet. There's a little gym, a little dog park, you know. So Farley's stoked, you know. I'm sure.
Yeah. Farley, the GameSpeak dog, he loves it. Yeah.
GameSpeak Dogcast.
Oh yeah. The good old days, back whenever this was just a podcast about dogs.
Did you watch The Mandalorian?
Episode 4, dude.
Episode
Had
4.
to. I'm so used to like just looking at you while we're doing this, so it's like a little strange to those who aren't watching. We're not looking each other in the eyes anymore.
It's almost like I'm having a conversation, you know, like with my thoughts. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're like the voice in my head, you know, and I'm like responding to it out loud or something.
I imagine we're like we've been like kidnapped and held ransom, and like
we're in the opposite rooms. Like
we're blindfolded,
talking through a vent. Like
dude, that's the way to
like
do this.
V for Vendetta, just like
for sure. But back to the Mandalorian. This is going to be a Star Wars filled episode.
Oh man, yeah, we got to do it too. It's just a Star Warsy time of life right now for us, and you know,
it is. All the hip kids are doing it. You know?
It's true.
We're hip, you know.
And I feel like The Mandalorian's one of the best shows that's come out in a while.
For sure.
Know? Star Wars or otherwise, you know what I mean?
So this episode 4, was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know really who she is, but I know that her father is Ron Howard.
Really?
Yeah. What that means to me, I don't know. But I do know it was a good episode, though.
Somebody said that the episode reminded them of the movie The Last Samurai.
That's what it was like, kind of, you know, influenced by.
I can totally see it, you know?
Yeah, it's like...
My favorite thing about the episode, though, is like how they portrayed the AT-ST with like the fucking like
how it was like painted and stuff.
You know? Oh, bro. They made it so scary, dude. Like, holy shit.
It was frightening.
It reminded me of that movie Trolls. Have you ever seen Trolls?
I haven't.
Or not
seen
Trolls like the fucking kids movie, but like
Troll
Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's good.
It's a lot better than you think. It's one of those movies that I put on like just expecting it to just be like total trash, and it wasn't.
Really?
I mean, it was like okay. It wasn't like great.
It was decent trash.
Yeah, it was better. It was like a step above trash.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah. So what was your like favorite part about the episode?
Oh man.
Or do you think this is your favorite episode so far?
Definitely not my favorite episode so far. Although there were some like moments where I was like worried we were gonna lose Baby Yoda again. They always do that to me.
Oh, like, where he almost got shot.
Well, I didn't think he was gonna get shot, but I did for a second think he was gonna leave him on that planet.
I did
My
not.
heart was ripping in half. You know, I've come to the conclusion that if they're not going to leave him on that planet, he's not getting rid of Baby Yoda.
No, that was never the case.
At least not this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a theory, though, that this is all going to tie into a much larger thing that is like incorporated somehow into the main story.
You
know
think
what
so?
I mean? I bet Baby Yoda grows up a little more. You know what I mean? So, okay, this is right after Order 66, right?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think this is
Or
like...
I'm getting my lore... I'm getting Force Awakens mixed up with...
Yeah, I think this is close to Force Awakens. Like, or it's even... Yeah, because I think the Empire's already fallen at this point. It's definitely fallen at this point because he was like... The guy who sent him to collect the bounty... was he's wearing like an Empire thing.
Oh, yeah,
remember?
You're right, yeah.
So this is like way after Order 66. This is after Palpatine's been, fucked up by Vader.
Okay. All right, yeah, okay.
But before Force Awakens, I think.
Interesting.
Pretty sure.
Well, I don't know. Just scratch that theory.
Scratch the Brent theory on Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
I think Baby Yoda is definitely going to play a bigger part somehow, but I don't think he's going to matter in the movies. Like, it's just going to be some off-story, like offshoot story.
Maybe.
Like, I think he might be Yoda's...
I want like a spin-off show about like Baby Yoda growing up,
But see, my problem
I want
is,
him as like a youngling, going through his like Jedi training, you know what I mean?
He can't be related to Yoda though. The problem with that is that they need to chill out.
Why can't he though?
Because they're making everybody related to everybody. How fucking small is this galaxy? That's my question. How is everyone related to everyone?
Okay, I mean, he doesn't have to be related to Yoda, but like he needs to be related. We need to find his parents. Even if his parents aren't, I want to find the planet where Yoda came from. I think that's what I want more than anything from the show now, is to see Yoda's home planet. You know what I mean?
With a bunch of the frog people?
Yes, dude. I think that would be sick.
Yeah, and they're all just like
super
using
force
the force
sensitive, yeah.
Like
just floating around like little fucking like Buddhas. Just I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be tight, and they don't even think anything about it. That's just like their electrical power.
Oh, dude.
They're just like, oh, we need to light up the house. And it's like go force shoot it. But yeah, so I liked episode 4. I think episode 3 is my favorite so far, though, with the shootout and everything.
Yeah,
like at the
that
end.
Was pretty cool. I like I think I liked episode 2 where he fought the
big rhino
thing. Yeah, I thought that was tight.
Yeah, that was tight, but nothing was as good as just watching him. Watching Baby Yoda try to play with the little ball on the shifter.
Dude, honestly, you could just give me 40 minutes of Baby Yoda just standing there looking cute, and I would be fucking all over that show, dude.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I also watched a movie called Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon. That sounds delicious. What was that about?
So it's a movie that stars Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
And this guy he's an actor with Down syndrome, and so
in the movie or like
in real life.
Oh,
in real life he has Down syndrome. In the movie he also has Down syndrome.
Sure.
He's playing a kid who's like...
That'd be crazy if he had Down syndrome, but he was like such a good actor that he just like could like play it off like he didn't. Like
that guy from what's it called? Breaking Bad.
Oh,
he doesn't have Down syndrome.
Cerebral palsy.
Yeah, cerebral palsy.
He plays it up for Breaking Bad a little bit though. Like he can actually like walk and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like anti that. It's like opposite. But so in this movie, Shia LaBeouf, his older brother died, and like he lives in this like podunk town in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And like he has like these crab traps that like his brother owned like these crab traps. And so, but I guess they got left to these other guys, like not purposefully, but these other guys took them. And so like he gets pissed off and he burns them all, which, so
the crab traps? Or
the crab traps, which is like those people's money basically. So he goes on, so he's on the run. He's on the lam, dude.
Oh, because he burned the people's crab traps?
Yeah, and they're trying to find him, like the police and stuff. And
how old is he in this movie? Like,
he's probably like our age, a little older.
Yeah.
And so like 27-ish, 28. That's what I'm imagining. But anyway, so the guy with Down syndrome is in a like a home, like for old people, and he doesn't want to be there, you know, but the state says that he needs to be somewhere because he doesn't have family. So he like escapes, you know. And,
and he goes with Shia LaBeouf.
He ends up like meeting up with Shia LaBeouf, and they're on the lam together, and they like
sounds like Grapes of Wrath almost. Like
it's kind of like that. I mean, they just experience like life. You know, Shia LaBeouf finds like purpose in, you know, taking care of him. And like letting him experience life because he doesn't want to go back to the home, and he also you know, wants to meet this wrestler because like he's been watching these 80s wrestling tapes like while he's in the old people home, and he thinks it's like a real guy. And like
does he meet the wrestler?
Spoiler alert. Yes, but like it's not everything it's, you know, it seems, you know, it's really interesting. It's worth a watch. Actually, it was a good movie.
I'll have to check it out. That sounds good.
Yeah, dude. It gave off some major Holes vibes, you know, just because Shia's in it, dude.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's real. I haven't even been watching anything good this week. I don't think, you know. I'm trying to think of like a good movie or something I watched, but.
Shia LaBeouf.
I've just been playing video games, man. You
Can't tell me that now. Well, then I guess let's jump into the news.
Oh, we got a lot of news. Before we jump in the news, I just want to say, did you know? Well, okay. Do you know? Are you familiar with your meme cats at all?
I guess I have seen lots of meme cats.
Do you know Little Bub, dude?
Oh, yeah. The weird face cat?
Yeah. Apparently, Little Bub died yesterday.
Aww.
It's like the saddest thing of all time. I just have to say R.I.P.
R.I.P. Little Bub.
You know what I mean? Because that was my boy. I was a top fan on the Facebook page
for
a while. Yeah, dude.
Damn, dude.
You know, it hit me hard yesterday. You know what I mean?
That's really sad.
Sad stuff, dude. I really,
Little Bub, rest in peace.
R.I.P. Yeah, dude, he posted this thing yesterday. Apparently, Little Bub had, like, they went around with Little Bub and did all these, like, motivational speeches or whatever. And, like, before he had died, he had earned, like, $700,000 to, like, give to, like, you know, charities for, like, homeless
special needs cats.
Yeah, so, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
That's tight.
Sad stuff, thoh. R.I.P. Little Bub. Shout outs.
We'll see you in the next life.
Yeah. Anyways. Our news.
Yeah, back to the news. So just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the material as our own. We're simply giving commentary on said articles, and I've decided that I'm just going to like name the person who wrote the article. That way, like, they get credit, you know, like I'm just going to be like, oh, Eddie McCooch wrote this, you know, or whatever. Yeah. So, Eddie McCooch from GameSpot, the guys from down the street, he says, Riot Games, the massive game developer behind League of Legends, will pay $10 million to settle a gender discrimination lawsuit. The news was revealed in court documents filed on Monday and first reported on by the Los Angeles Times.
Wait, who's doing the lawsuit?
Somebody is against the developer of League of Legends.
Oh Lord.
It's a gender discrimination lawsuit, so somebody that works there.
Okay.
The news was revealed in court documents filed on Monday and first reported on by the Los Angeles Times. Every one of the approximately 1,000 female employees who worked at Riot from November 2014 until the settlement is complete will get a share of the $10 million pool.
Oh shit.
Divided equally, it would work out to $10,000 each, but that won't be how it works. The Times reports that the payouts will depend on the length of their employment and their status as full-time versus contractor. The settlement was first announced in August, though this is the first time we're hearing about the monetary terms. Quote, we're pleased to have a proposed settlement to fully resolve the class action lawsuit, a spokesperson for Riot said. The settlement is another important step forward and demonstrates our commitment to living up to our values and to making Riot an inclusive environment for the industry's best talent.
It'd be tight if you were one of the girls that just like wasn't even involved in like the whole
just
lawsuit
showed up,
and shit, and you just
get
like
$10,000.
Like, oh, here's $10,000 for working here and being a girl. Like, that's a bet, dude.
Even a couple $100, I'll take whatever.
Yeah, that's a bet. I'd be like, all right.
Riot and the plaintiffs who brought forward the class action lawsuit have agreed to the terms, but a judge still needs to finalize and approve the deal before payments go out. Other terms of the settlement are unknown. And in August 2018 expose from Kotaku's Cecilia De Anastasio contained numerous serious and dramatic accusations about the quote-unquote bro culture within Riot. Among the details was that managers were said to have had lists where they ranked women by attractiveness. In August this year, when the settlement was first announced, Riot maintained that it doesn't have systemic issues related to gender discrimination, though it did acknowledge that the workplace environment was less than ideal. What does that mean?
I don't know, man. I that just doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Why would you say that even?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we admit that it sucks to work here, but we're not hating on women or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I remember this report back in the day. I didn't think it would go this far, to be honest with
you.
Me
either.
I mean, I'm not, I'm glad it did. Because
bro culture.
Because bro culture.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show. We did news on this.
Yeah, I definitely remember the news. That's exciting for all those employees over at Riot Games.
For sure. What you got, Brent?
Okay, so I didn't get everybody's name who wrote all the articles.
That's fine, dude. It was just a random thing.
No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I like that.
I'm gonna start doing that.
I'm gonna start doing that too on the next one. But for the time being, we'll just have to know that I got all this from what's that game?
GameSpot.
GameSpot. Yeah, I always want to say GameStop. They need to do something about that. That's just
I'm sure they'll get right on that for us.
GameStop is probably like, oh fuck, or no, GameSpot. See, I got it mixed up again. GameSpot is probably like, oh, GameStop's gonna go out of business any second now, so it doesn't even matter.
They'll take all of that brain.
It's better than the Australian and British stores that sell games. Their big game seller is CEX.
It's Kex.
Is it Kex, really?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying that.
I don't know.
Kex.
I just always read it as sex.
Sucking
that
many
can't be
kicks.
Right. I don't know.
Anyways, what you got?
So we got Persona 5 Royale, the enhanced version of 2017's Persona 5, now officially has a North American release date for 2020. Atlus announced today that Persona 5 Royale will be released for the PS4 on March 31st, 2020, and is currently available for pre-order in its mini editions. Alongside the release date, confirmation, Atlus announced a host of both digital and physical editions, including Persona 5 Royale Phantom Thieves Edition for $89.99, includes P5R, an official Joker's mask with stand, that's kind of cool, collector's box, art book, soundtrack, limited edition steel case, and a dynamic PS4 theme. There's also the P5R launch edition, and that's going to be $59.99. It's basically just the game in a steelbook case, which is tight. And then there's the Ultimate Edition, which if you're going to get the one that we said was $89.99, you might as well get this one, because it's $99.99. It comes with all the DLC bundles and 6 additional costume packs.
Nice.
And then there's one that's $69.99. There's a lot of different ones. That comes with Kasumi's costume bundles. And then you can buy all the DLC. If you just get the base game and you want to get all the DLC later, of course, they'll sell it to you,
They'll take your money anyway.
But I'm going to get it, man. I don't know. I had so much fun with Persona, and they're adding a whole new character and segment of the game in. So.
Cool.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it again.
So this next bit is from Kevin Konechevik at GameSpot. Nintendo has announced a legendary new patch for Super Mario Maker 2. The version 2.0 update releases this Thursday, December 5th, and introduces a slew of new course parts to the game, including a power-up that lets you play as Link from the Legend of Zelda series. When Mario picks up the Master Sword power-up, he transforms into the Hylian hero. The Master Sword can only be used in the classic Super Mario Bros. Game style, but it opens up a range of new gameplay possibilities. As Link, you can take advantage advantage of the numerous weapons and skills at his disposal. Link's sword can defeat enemies, while his shield can deflect thwomps and incoming attacks. His bombs can also destroy blocks, and you can even fire arrows to reach far-off coins and switches. Additionally, Nintendo is introducing a handful of new enemies and course parts with the version 2.0 update, including the cactus-like Pokey and Spike. The latter normally hurls spiked balls, but if you place one in a snow level, it will throw snowballs instead. On top of that are new P-blocks, invisible blocks that are temporarily activated when you hit a P-switch. Nintendo is also adding frozen coins. These are encased in ice and can be thawed out when hit by fire, be it from a fire flower or other sources like burners and fire bars. Finally, the update also adds the dash block for the Super Mario 3D World game style, which propels Mario forward at great speed when stepped on. Rounding out the update is a new Ninja speedrun mode. This mode challenges you to race through new courses created by Nintendo as quickly as possible. During your run, you'll be racing against Ninja ghosts that represent other players' best times. Nintendo says the ghosts you race will be of a similar performance level, so you can improve your own performance. Clearing courses in this mode will net you stamps, which in turn can unlock special outfits for your Mii.
That's really cool. I think that would be a lot of fun to play.
Yeah,
honestly.
And
it's all going to be free, right?
I believe so. Yeah, and I'm excited that they're bringing Link into this.
Me too. I think that's a fun thing to do. I think you could really get creative with your like level design. Have like a almost Zelda 2 style level if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
Maybe so. I wish there was more to it than just like it's a power up that turns you into Link. Like I wish like you could just have like assets from the old school like Zelda games and kind of make
that's
it like
what they need is Super Zelda Builder. Dude.
Super Zelda Maker.
Oh my god,
dude.
Can you imagine if you could make your own quest lines and stuff and like
that would be dope.
Oh my god,
that
dude.
Would be
just
so
like
cool.
You make your own old school top down Zelda, like, you know, place the stores and the towns how you want, you know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah. Do some dialogue and stuff like that.
It would be doable too. Like I feel like they could totally make that. You know what I mean?
I feel like they will eventually. Maybe they're saving it for a rainy day.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of our news this week is just going to be really cool, like updates to games like that, because I have a couple of those. Respawn has announced the next update for Apex Legends will go live on December 3rd. The new update adds a vast increase to the in-game level cap and also makes some welcome changes to how Apex Legends progression system works. I won't read the rest of the article, but basically they're making the level cap go from 100 to 500.
God damn.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get lots more like skill points and stuff like that. And those of you that aren't already at level 100 will get like a 5% increase to your XP gain.
Wow.
And they're adding new rewards to like, so as you level up to level 100, you'll get like all kinds of new rewards. And if you're already level 100, you'll retroactively get all the rewards you would have gotten, you know. Like, you'll get, like, 14 rewards as soon as it drops. You know what I mean? So
Apex.
Apex.
So then we got from Eddie McCooch at GameSpot. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is having a big week. The game's massive Season 1 launches on December 3rd alongside the introduction of the military shooter's first battle pass. More details about the pass have now come to light thanks to YouTuber Ecolai Espresso, and it sounds like a substantial offering. There are 100 tiers to unlock, 20 plus of which are free for everyone. These tiers are unlocked by playing multiplayer or Spec Ops. Alternatively, players can spend 1,000 Call of Duty points, or $10 to unlock additional tiers, or all of them at once. It costs 150 Call of Duty points, or $1.50 $1.50 to unlock tiers one by one, which works out to $150 to buy them all individually. In terms of what's in the tiers, they include things like operator skins, weapon XP, emblems, calling cards, weapon blueprints, and Call of Duty points. The Battle Pass also includes 2 weapons, the Ram 7 assault rifle and the Holger 26 rifle. These are both available by tier 31, so the grind isn't too extensive for players who don't want to spend money to get them right away. According to Ecolai Espresso's conversations with Infinity Ward, it should take about 1 hour to unlock each tier, so about 100 hours to unlock all the tiers in the Battle Pass.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah, that's too much hours. I don't even think I haven't even spent 1 hour in that game.
I think about games like Fallout or something where I spent like 50 hours on a playthrough or something, and I'm just like, no thanks.
Yeah, 100 hours in Call of Duty. Some people just play that game nonstop.
It's like an entire Persona 5 playthrough. Like
that is fucking crazy. What you got?
Okay, we got a lot of news, so I'm just gonna blast through some of this. Pokemon Global Trading Link is shutting down. The Pokemon Company revealed that the service will cease on February 24th, 2020, but they're gonna give away a free Pokemon through the service before they shut down. From now until February 24th, you can claim a free Fennel's Muna in Gen 7 in a Gen 7 3DS game. So
why? What's the point? You know, like if you're shutting down the trading anyways, like,
well, you're shutting down the global trading system, but they said somewhere in the article that they're still going to have like servers up for people to like play online. Like you can still trade on the game. You just can't trade
with other people.
Yeah,
that
you
don't
can't
have
trade like
friends with.
between games, like you can trade like to another. Like say you have Sun or whatever, you can trade to another Sun game or whatever. I think, but you can't trade to X or something like that. I don't know, but they're definitely still going to have like some of the functions still working. Like you can still play the game. It's just
I still think that's kind of pointless. You know, and I think it's their way of cutting people off so that they'll play the Switch game.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's like, time to move on.
Right. All right. You guys all stop playing this.
Yeah. We got a new game.
It's not fun anymore.
This next one is from James O'Connor at GameSpot. Death Stranding, Sony's big holiday 2019 release, is the first game from Hideo Kojima in the wake of his split from Konami. The game received mostly positive reviews and seems to have pleased many fans of Kojima's previous work on the Metal Gear Solid series. In a recently published discussion held shortly before the game was released, Kojima has briefly touched on the possibility of a sequel. In a discussion with Variety, Kojima discusses his friendship with Norman Reedus and talks about wanting to work with Reedus again. Kojima said that he would consider making a Death Stranding sequel with Reedus, but that he would, quote, start from zero, end quote. It seemingly would not follow on directly from the first game. There are no further details or thoughts given, although Kojima does share a charming anecdote about Reedus's cat throwing up. Okay, thank you.
Charming.
Yeah, so charming. My thing is like, I don't think they're going to make another one.
Another Death Stranding?
Yeah, I feel like that game didn't do well enough to warrant another one. You know, like,
yeah,
it was like big because his name was attached to it, but I don't think it did well. Most people that have played it have told me they didn't really like it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got its own little like cult following or whatever. I don't see it like getting made unless Kojima just really, really wants to do it. You know what I mean? Like
and he's a free fucking agent now.
Yeah, he can do it if he wants. I mean,
but he can do what he wants. Why would he get back into making like consecutive sequels again, like he did with Metal Gear for so long? Like,
maybe that's just like what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Like it's, I mean, you can't like.
He should just be making new shit.
That's like his artistic vision, you know. I definitely agree that he should be making new shit, but I mean, if that's not what like he feels like he should do, I feel like at this point in his career, he's probably just going to do what feels right. But I've heard rumors he's talking about making like a horror game or something next, you know?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of stuff. Like, he talks a lot.
He does.
That's the thing. He should feel what I feel, you know, and that's him making a new game. So, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, what you got?
So we talked about the Call of Duty Battle Pass or whatever, but did we talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the Season 1 free content?
No.
All right. Well, apparently they're about to drop Okay, this is a quote from the article. It says, Season 1 represents what Activision is calling the biggest drop of free content in Call of Duty history.
Ooh.
Okay. So this is all of the Season 1 free content that's coming. Not all of it's coming day one, but throughout Season 1, all of this will come for free to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Crash, multiplayer map. It's a classic one. Vacant, multiplayer map. Shipment, multiplayer and gunfight map. Port, ground war map. Cargo, gunfight map. Atrium, gunfight map. Additional maps. Look for additional multiplayer maps as Season 1 progresses. Reinforce multiplayer mode, a hybrid of Dom and S&D, and single life mode with both teams competing for control of 3 flags. On-site procurement, a gunfight mode. Infected multiplayer mode. Additional modes, bomb squad, grounded. These are special ops experiences, which I think are like single player, like campaign type things. Grounded, pitch black, just reward, and additional content. So they got like a bunch of shit coming. So that's kind of exciting if you have that game.
If you're a COD. So another article from Eddie McCooch at GameSpot. Star Citizen, the ambitious PC space sim from Wing Commander creator Chris Roberts, has reached yet another significant funding milestone. The game's public funding page shows that Star Citizen has eclipsed $250 million in funding since the campaign began all the way back in 2012. $9 million alone came in during November, which makes it the biggest month ever for funding in Star Citizen's history, according to PC Gamer. The uptick in support for Star Citizen no doubt surged due to the hype leading up to the game's fan event, CitizenCon. ClickCon, which took place at the end of the month. CitizenCon brought a lot of big news about Star Citizen, including the announcement of the newest planet, Microtech, and a new 20v20 multiplayer mode for Star Citizen's FPS game, Star Marine. In other news, Star Citizen is free for everyone to play through December 5th as part of the game's latest free fly event. This event allows players to fly every ship in the game, of which there are more than 100, instead of only a limited selection like in previous free fly campaigns.
That's pretty cool. I'd like to try that out.
$250 million.
I wonder how much of that money is actually going back into the development of this game.
I imagine all of it.
You think?
Yeah, that's $250 million over like almost a decade.
You don't think they're taking a couple dollars off the top?
Well, they have to. You
don't think
they have to use some of that to pay themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, how much do you think they're making their paycheck?
Probably like $50K.
$50K?
A day. No, I imagine quite a bit of that goes into their pockets.
You know, their original goal when they first started out was $500,000. They've made over 500 times their target goal.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
That's what I want.
You know, it's the most successful Kickstarter campaign in the history of Kickstarter campaigns.
It is?
It is.
Wow. That's
awesome.
I
think I might just be talking out of my ass.
Did you know that Jesus died for that game? No, just kidding.
It's pretty crazy, though.
Yeah, it is pretty intense.
A little more fun, free content here for you guys. Kingdom Hearts 3 is due to receive a major piece of free DLC called Remind before the end of February 2020. The new downloadable content will come with new playable characters, including Aqua, Roxas, and Riku, as well as new Keyblade transformations and fights. Now, thanks to one fan who attended the Kingdom Hearts Orchestra performance in Osaka, we have some more details about what the DLC will add. These details, which were tweeted by a Twitter user called Melanie and then compiled by Eurogamer, are focused on some of the ephemera. That's a weird word. Ephemera. Am I saying that right? Ephemera. Yeah, I don't know. Never heard that one. That's a new word for me. Ephemera around the new playable content, including new difficulty options and photo modes. So basically, let me just cut the meat and potatoes out of this. There's going to be a photo mode, okay, where you can take pictures.
So cool.
Cool and all. But the big thing is they're going to have 2 new difficulty modes, okay? One is going to make the game, like, stupidly easy, like where you one-shot, like, everybody. And one is going to make the game have, like, a granular difficulty where you can, like, adjust the difficulty of each specific thing to however difficult you want it. You know what I mean? So, theoretically, you could, like, pump it way, way, way the fuck up as hard as you could possibly imagine. You know what I mean?
Sounds dumb.
I think they were kind of, like, getting a lot of complaints, like, oh, this game's too easy. Well, they're just like, all right, well, fuck it.
We'll make it all the way
Make it
hard.
as hard as you want, then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. So this one is from Matt Purslow at IGN. Listing for what appears to be a remake of Resident Evil 3 has been added to the PSN catalog.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, GameStat.com, a website that tracks data added PSN via the system's API, has revealed that 3 Resident Evil games have been added to the Japanese databanks. One is Project Resistance, the already announced co-op multiplayer game, but 2 are Biohazard RE3 or Resident Evil 3. The entries come with cover art that shows off new redesigns for Nemesis, Jill, and Carlos. A tweet from prolific industry observer Nibel also showed off the US cover with Resident Evil 3 rather than Biohazard title treatment. The images suggest that a remake of Resident Evil 3 is in the works at Capcom and seemingly soon to be announced. That, or perhaps that there's a re-release with lovely new cover art on the way.
Man, that's incredibly exciting. I don't think we're getting a re-release with lovely new cover art. I mean, the pictures that I saw are like real, like,
yeah.
I mean, it looks like the fucking RE2 remake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think they're going to use the same engine, probably the same graphics. Of
course.
I'm not even mad about that. Honestly,
I imagine that they were already working on this game before they put out Resident Evil 2, because there's no way this quickly there's already another one coming.
Absolutely. I would be surprised if Resident Evil 3 doesn't do well, if they don't go ahead and just do all the fucking old ones. 0, 1, you know what I mean? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Do them all. You know?
And another reason why this is more than likely a remake is that it says the cover art seems to suggest that there will be a special edition of the release called the Z version, although
Ooh.
the data currently does not suggest what this variant may provide.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, Resident Evil 2 is not only like a good contender for Game of the Year this year, but like I feel like it's likely to win. You know what I mean? It's that good. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's like I don't think it'll win Game of the Year.
I think the only reason it won't win Game of the Year is because of recency bias. You know what I mean? I think that it came out at the beginning of the year. It was just really good, you know? Like it, you know, I got like, okay,
recency bias, and because most people don't consider it a new game.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem. Is like, but like really the only thing about the game that's reused from the old games is like
names,
names and like loose plot points.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like it's so much different than the old ones.
Yeah, even the plot's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tailored it to make a little more sense with like, you know, I don't know. I think they did a great job. I'm excited about 3
for sure.
Tencent, the Chinese internet giant, has invested in yet another video game
future
studio.
overlords.
Our future overlords. The company's latest investment is in the big British game studio or game developer Sumo Digital. Tencent has acquired 15 million shares of the company, which makes them 9.96% owners of Sumo Group.
Wow.
Sumo Group owns Sumo Digital, who makes like they collaborated on the new Hitman games, and they did like Driver 76 and stuff back in the day. So
so expect your Hitman games to be based in China from now on.
No, dude, definitely not. Or like if you are in China, it's not going to be some espionage shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be like
they're never going to make another Hitman game. Now that I think about it. Because I feel like that's
they will.
That's too risky for China.
But you'll be like sneaking into like American governments.
I'm actually cool with that. I think that would be a really fun game.
Yeah. So Daniel Robson at IGN posted, PlayStation has been certified the best-selling video game home console brand ever by Guinness World Records. The achievement was awarded in light of combined sales of PlayStation hardware totaling some 450,190,000 units between the original console's launch in Japan on December 3rd, 1994 and the 7th of November 2019. The record includes hardware sales of PlayStation, PS2, PS3, and PS4 based on figures from VG charts. So that's cool.
I feel like you could almost get away with throwing the PlayStation Classic in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
technically.
Hey, let's just throw those in there too. You know what I mean?
Maybe that goes towards PS1.
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, for all you Fortnite players out there, here's a little fun bit of content for you. This actually looks really legit. So if you're just bored and you want to, like, do something that's not multiplayer, Fortnite. I'll begin reading the article now. Fortnite is best known for its Battle Royale mode, which recently rebranded as Fortnite Chapter 2. But there are other modes within the game, including Save the World, PvE, mode... Oh my god.
Ant mode?
Ant mode. I can't read today, I'm sorry. Including Save the World PvE mode the game launched with, and a creative mode for people who want to build things without being killed. Now, a team of creative users have become the first to use this mode to make a full single-player game. The game, for the Fourth Dimension, was created by YouTuber Mustard Plays, who is, Kotaku points out, the brother of Fortnite's creative director Donald Mustard. Along with the four-person team, Team Create. The announcement video below, which if you were, on the website, you'd see it, shows off the map, the code for which is 150025658566. Mustard Plays promises that the game is, the game can be a 6 to 10 hour experience for players. Ugh, I can't talk right now. But that's pretty cool, like a whole ass 6 to 10 hour campaign just faux free for no reason,
In Fortnite?
Yeah, but it's like okay, according to the thing, like you go to different like areas and you like solve puzzles and there's like light shooting and like it looks pretty cool, dude. Like just from the little trailer,
Yeah, sounds interesting. Just kidding. I don't see how that could be fun, but I mean, I like it. It's free, so whatever.
You might as well,
beggars can't be choosers.
Might as well give it a whirl.
Yeah. Andrew Smith at IGN says, after closing all Toys R Us retail stores last year, the beloved Toys R Us brand seemed all but dead. However, thanks to a partnership with True Kids and B8TA, or Beta, Toys R Us is set to open 2 new stores just in time for the holiday season.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, after filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy last year. As reported by Bloomberg, the first of the new Toys R Us stores opened over the Thanksgiving weekend at Garden State Plaza in Paramus, New Jersey. Following its successful launch, a second Toys R Us store is set to open on December 5th in Houston, Texas. The opening of the first 2 new Toys R Us locations is part of the company's plan to launch a total of 10 new stores by the end of 2020. Unlike its previous iterations, the new Toys R Us stores won't be piled to the ceiling with toys, but instead will carry a limited number of items from companies like Nerf and Nintendo. The new Toys R Us locations also will be shifting their focus from offering a mass amount of toys to giving customers the chance to experience the hands-on joy of new toys, something online retailers can't offer. Instead of loads and loads of items, the new stores will only carry around 1,500 products, leaving open floor spaces for customers to go hands-on with different toys. Sounds like it won't work.
Right. I don't have a lot of faith in it.
No, but we should go to the new Toys R Us in Houston.
Regardless, I'm all about Toys R Us. You know what I mean?
We should go make a video of us playing with the going hands-on with the toys at Toys R Us.
Dude, let's get hands-on. Yeah, I'm excited. That sounds fun.
We're here to get hands-on.
So there is one near us that's opening?
Houston. Yeah, it'll be the second one in Houston.
Oh, dope.
So only 2 in the world.
We lucked out,
and we get the second one. Yeah,
wow. Dude. How fortunate we are.
Yeah, dude. To be able to just go hands-on with the toys.
We get to re-witness the downfall of Toys R Us, dude.
Because it's gonna, by the end of next year, I'm pretty sure they'll file for bankruptcy again.
It's going to be like class 12 bankruptcy at this point, dude. Okay, so we got No Man's Sky. Has another huge update. It just came out. It's called Synthesis. It's going to add like hundreds of features, literally over 300 changes made in total. But the most noteworthy change is that now, if you have a VR headset, you can ride animals in VR, which is pretty sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't the graphics kind of lame in VR anyway?
Yeah,
So?
I think that's one of the 300 issues that they're working on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, and that was just my experience. I think, I was on a bad planet. It's not the most impressive VR game, to be honest with you. There are some parts of it that are kind of cool, but, like, there's just way cooler VR games out there. Like, if you want a game like that in VR, play the Solus Project, dude. That shit is bomb in VR.
For sure. Hope Corrigan over at IGN wrote this article. The Vatican may be getting its own Minecraft server thanks to a Jesuit priest who plans to launch a potentially friendlier place for people to play. PC Gamer reports FR Robert Balliser. What does FR stand for? Like
Friar?
Yeah, like friar.
Is it like a church term?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, friar.
Let's just say friar.
Yeah. What if we're completely wrong?
I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, Friar Robert Balliser was a student of technology in Silicon Valley before he was Silicon Valley, my bad. Silicon Valley before or is it Silicon?
I think they both exist.
Yeah,
one has to do with computers and one has to
titties.
do with plastic surgery. Yeah.
Okay, so Titty Valley before he was ordained. Since then, he's used his knowledge to help connect more people and help out other leaders of the church who may not be so familiar with IT and tech trends. Minecraft has been the focus of his efforts since Balliser hosted a poll on Twitter a few months back. He asked followers what server they'd prefer out of Rust, Ark, Team Fortress 2, or Minecraft, and Mojang's crafting game came out well ahead with 64% of the total voting tally.
Rust doesn't seem like a very churchy game.
No, dude. Not at all. Balliser sees the potential Minecraft server as an extension of this and hopes it will allow people to see their faith can coexist with technology. He also hopes this will lead to new connections and support structures for players with which may bleed into real life. Quote,
this guy just wants to play video
games
he does. And wants the church to accept
priest.
it. Yeah.
It's not about the technology. It's not even really about the gaming, he tells Rome Reports in a video interview. It's about getting people together who can then maybe move those relationships to the real world. At first, there were a lot of people who were very hesitant, Balliser explains, because you see this guy in a collar talking about the latest offerings from Google or how you can run fiber optics across the Atlantic, and they didn't understand. They said, wait a minute, these two things don't go together. But after a time, they realized, okay, he knows what he's talking about. He just happens to be a priest. And ultimately, that was the ministry I was trying to do.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Bringing Minecraft to God. Cool. Okay, so this is interesting. And, with all the Resident Evil news that we're hearing, the rumblings and the bumblings, this is some interesting stuff.
Oh.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has a curious crossover coming on November 29th when the Spirit Board will replace the current Pokemon spirits with characters from a very different franchise.
Is it Digimon?
Yeah, dude.
Is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Resident Evil has had a big year on Switch. Resident Evil 0, 4, 5, and 6 all released on Nintendo's platform, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is looking to celebrate with this Spirit Board. Chris, Jill, Leon, and Wesker will all come to the game as unlockable spirits, meaning that you can nab 3 of the series' mightiest heroes and maybe its most iconic villain if you leveled up well and can beat their equivalent fighters.
That's stupid.
Unfortunately, this also means that Leon Kennedy almost certainly isn't the 5th DLC character included in the Fighter's Pass.
Exactly. That's why this is stupid.
But think about it, dude. Okay? They're making Spirit Board characters out of, Resident Evil characters. Just because Leon isn't going to be the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we're not going to get a Resident Evil character in Smash Bros. At some point.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm hoping this means good news for that.
Also, I feel like this may imply that we're going to get some kind of like scaled down version of the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes. Because, look, if you think about it, dude, okay, we've got Resident Evil, right? Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, all on Switch right now. Yeah. And 7 at one point through the streaming thing. You know what I mean? The only games in the Resident Evil series that haven't graced the Switch's platform are 2 and 3. Is it because we're going to get a Switch port of the remakes.
Maybe so.
Theories with Brent.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
Anyways.
Yeah.
If they can do The Witcher, though, they can definitely do the Resident Evil 2 remake. Although it was beautiful and all, I think they can scale it down a little. It would still be dope.
I wonder how well that did, because that's out now.
The Witcher?
The Switcher.
The Switcher?
Yeah.
Everybody likes it.
On the Switch?
Yeah. It's not as, obviously it's not as beautiful as it was on
I just want to know, I want to meet somebody who's played it.
I've heard people say that it performs really well, just as far as, playing it goes, it works well, but, there's, obvious, texture drops and stuff, you know what I mean?
Pop in. Yeah, So this next one is from Chris Priestman at IGN. The Valve Index VR headset is experiencing stock shortages in the US and Canada after the reveal of Half-Life Alyx.
Really?
Yeah, Valve revealed its new VR-only game Half-Life Alyx on November 21st. Now, just a week later, Valve's own VR headset, the Index, is selling out in the US and Canada. Radio to VR reports that from November 27th, most of the Index packages listed on the US and Canadian Steam store pages are displayed with, quote, back in stock soon, end quote, messages. That's 3 packages in total. The headset, controllers, and Half-Life Alyx package, headset and Half-Life Alyx package, and the controllers and Half-Life Alyx package. The only Index package that is still available is the most expensive at $999, which includes the headset, controllers, 2 base stations, and Half-Life Alyx. However, the message displayed alongside it is that if you order now, you can expect to receive it before December 25th.
Is that what makes it more expensive than the other ones?
No. It just had more shit with it. And that's the only one that's not sold out right now.
Wow. I can't say that doesn't make me a little happy.
Yeah, it's good.
And I bet this is, okay, if Index is selling out because of this, then I almost can guarantee you that Oculus has gotten a huge numbers bump because of this too.
Maybe so.
You know what I mean? Because, okay, you're going out, you're buying a headset specifically to play Half-Life Alyx. You know what I mean? You start looking at your options, I don't know. I can't imagine that some people didn't go the cheaper route knowing that the Oculus can also play Half-Life Alyx. You know what I mean? It's interesting to think about.
It is. It's very interesting. I want to see the numbers.
I saw an article earlier, whenever I was writing all this stuff down. I didn't write this article down, but it was Phil Spencer talking about how he got to play Half-Life Alyx over the summer and how awesome it was.
Okay. Oh yeah, I did see that, but it wasn't a good thing. No,
he was just talking about why he didn't want to go into VR. But
yeah,
he was also,
I just mean that article in general. He was saying that it was a good game and stuff. He was saying that as oh, I'm not talking crap about VR. Because I played it, but he was saying that there's no interest for them to put VR on the Xbox Scarlet, which is very upsetting.
It is upsetting just because I feel like it's doable. You know what I mean? They could put it on the One X right now if they really wanted to. You know what I mean? I've been squeezing. Keep talking. I don't know what to say. News. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. We got behind-the-scenes news going on here. Okay. Although Jurassic World's Colin Trevorrow was fired from his role as director and co-writer of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, his contributions were great enough to earn himself a writing credit for the final film. As such, he will earn residual checks from the sci-fi blockbuster, and those are expected to be significant given the profile and popularity of the film. Long story short, though, this guy is donating his checks because he got fired. He's like, okay, I don't deserve these checks, so I'm going to donate it to a local hospital. So he's doing that. Good guy over here, Here, fuck it. I'll just do it without the thing.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, guys, who have to listen to that, but every now and then we're gonna have some technical difficulties. But it is what it is. We're still getting you the news.
Yeah, you guys can just deal with the pops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just try not to say any pop words.
I'm gonna say the word pop at least 4 or 5 times a sentence, just to.
All right, well, you finish out the news, unfortunately. So you keep on going.
Okay.
Peter
Elder
Popperman.
Peter Popperman popped a pickle in his Peter popping pop. No, the Elder Scrolls Blades got pushed back on Switch. It's not coming till 2020. Sorry, fellas. Get over it.
Oh, we were all waiting.
Beat Saber developer Beat Games is now a part of Facebook and joining Oculus Studios. So that's cool. We got Oculus with a good developer behind them now. I think it'll be cool for them to put out some, games that are, their own. Because as it stands, we got, Robo Recall. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We need better exclusives on Oculus, especially if we got Valve over here putting out the fucking Half-Life game,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Battleborn is shutting down officially.
That game was still going?
It was, and it will continue to go until January 2021 when it will go offline server-wise.
I'm sure all 3 of the players that are still there are very upset about this.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Rest in peace, Battleborn.
And that's it. That's all I got. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for this week's video game news. We're going to jump into this week's releases, where I'm going to let you know what brand new games are coming out in the next 7 days. Starting off with Earth Knight, coming to Switch, PS4, PC, Mac on December 3rd for $14.99. Dragons have taken over the Earth, and it's up to a 14-year-old high schooler and a freelance photographer to stop them. Featuring luscious illustrated graphics and procedurally generated platformer challenges, Earth Knight takes place in a dystopian future just after the dragon apocalypse.
They lost me at procedurally generated.
Yeah, trash. No, I'm just kidding. And then we got Arise, a simple story, coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on December 3rd for $19.99. Arise is an emotional journey through the life of 2 people where memories come alive and time bends to the player's will. Each chapter represents a specific turning point in a man's long life filled with relatable moments of joy and sorrow.
Cool.
And then we got Halo Reach is coming to the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One and PC on December 3rd.
I thought they already did that for some reason.
That's today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I thought they did it like a week ago or something. I don't know why.
Nah, dog.
Nah, dog.
And then we got this A-class title right here, Terminator Resistance, coming to Xbox One, PS4, and PC on December 3rd for $39.99.
The time has finally come, dude.
It has. Judgment Day. Experience the events leading up to the decisive final battle for the fate of mankind in the war against the machines. Terminator Resistance is the first-person shooter set during the future war scenario that was only glimpsed at in the iconic films. The machines are destined to lose, but at what cost? Run and gun and sneak and hack through Skynet's defenses. Level up your skills and explore a post-apocalyptic world for scraps to trade and craft. Interact with a motley group of survivors and change their fates.
Watch this game just be tight as fuck. Just
it sounds like a ripoff of
the best
Fallout.
game ever. It doesn't look like Fallout. It looks like a linear-ass first person. It almost looks like Metro Last Light or something,
okay.
You know?
Then we got Saga, and I say it like that because it's Saga spelt with capital S, lowercase a, uppercase G, lowercase a.
So like Saga.
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 It's coming. Saga Scarlet Grace Ambitions is coming to a Switch, PS4, PC, and mobile on December 3rd for $29.99. With Saga Scarlet Grace, newcomers and longtime fans of the Saga franchise can shape their own adventures with one of 4 protagonists: Urpina, Taria, Urpinus, Taria, Balmont, and Leonard, each with their own unique storyline, allowing players to enjoy 4 different RPGs in one title.
Cool.
And then we got Stardust Odyssey coming to PSVR on December 3rd for $26.99. Stardust Odyssey is a VR adventure game blending sci-fi and fantasy with an exotic oriental mood. Developed by the French game developers Agartha Studio. The evil of the abyss has returned, and it is up to you to stop the threat. Jump aboard your Ethercraft and explore mysterious continents convoys of nomads.
Cool.
Okay, and then we got Life is Strange 2, Episode 5. It's coming
finally.
to everything, December 3rd.
Dude.
Yeah. And then we got Hero Land coming to Switch, PS4, and PC on December 3rd for $39.99. Put on your nostalgia goggles for this single-player RPG about a theme park where guests can explore dungeons, beat up baddies, and become legendary heroes, while the player assists from the sidelines as a tour guide. Okay, and then we got Blair Witch coming to PS4 on December 3rd for $29.99.
Oh, good.
Yeah, or you could have got it on Xbox Game Pass for free. Then we got Trover Saves the Universe coming to Xbox One on December 3rd.
Oh, or you could have got it on PlayStation.
Well,
free, it wouldn't have been for free, but
no, yeah, that's what I was.
But it would have been in VR though. And honestly, this game isn't worth playing if you're not playing it in VR. Real talk.
Yeah, it's weird that it's come to Xbox One and Switch without VR.
It's like a game designed for VR, and like the fact that they're releasing it like out of VR just doesn't make any sense.
Well, in Trover Saves the Universe, Trover saves the universe. Your dogs have been dognapped by a beaked lunatic who stuffed them into his eye holes and is using their life essence to destroy the universe.
Oh my God.
Does that make sense? This full-length sci-fi action comedy adventure game features bizarre alien planets, power babies, and character upgrades. And then we got Simulacra coming to Xbox One, PS4, and Switch on December 3rd for $12.99. From the creators of Sarah is Missing, Simulacra is a spiritual sequel to the highly acclaimed found phone horror game. You found the lost phone of a woman named Anna. In it, you see a desperate cry for help in the form of a video message. The phone behaves strangely as you dive deeper into it. You talk to her friends, and they have no idea where she is. Her text, emails, and photo gallery provides fragments and nudes. No, I'm just kidding. Fragments of information. It's up to you to piece it together. Recover lost files. Piece back corrupted data.
Find sick nudes.
And retrace her final steps.
That's like a huge part of the gameplay mechanics. Like, comb the phone for nudes. It actually sounds like a dope game, though.
Yeah, it does. Sounds interesting. Farming Simulator 20 is coming to Switch on December 3rd for $44.99. Hop on a tractor and get to work in Farming Simulator 20. With over 100 faithfully reproduced farming vehicles and tools, Farming Simulator 20 will provide hours of farming fun. Farming Simulator 20 adds John Deere, the largest agricultural machinery company in the world. John Deere arrives alongside and is part of tons of gameplay additions. New machinery and crops with cotton and oats, tending to livestock of pigs, cows, and sheep, as well as a whole new North American environment to explore and develop as you like. And then we got Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition coming to PS4, Xbox One on December 3rd for $19.99. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition is an enhanced version of the fantasy role-playing game blockbuster based on the 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons rules. And then we got Fight and Rage coming to PS4 December 3rd for $19.99. Fight and Rage is a brand new old-school side-scroller beat-em-up. That's all I'm going to say. And then we got Phoenix Point coming to PC December 3rd for $59.99. Phoenix Point is a turn-based tactics and 4x grand strategy game that puts you in command of a global battle against a terrifying alien menace able to mutate and evolve to adapt to your choices and actions. Okay. And then we got Everreach, Project Eden, coming to Xbox One and PC on December 4th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but set on the visually stunning planet Eden. Everreach Project Eden is a fast-paced, story-driven, third-person action RPG adventure packed with the tactical ground combat, high-speed vehicular warfare, and a compelling level and skill system. You play as Nora Harwood, member of Everreach's security division, on a mission to secure the colonization process of Eden and investigate mysterious incidents. Explore this vast alien world and descend into the planet's depths to discover the ancient secrets of a long-forgotten civilization. From the way this game looked, it kind of looked like Mass Effect, but I couldn't really tell if it's like that.
That sounds cool to me, then.
Yeah. And then we got Star Ocean First Departure R coming to Switch and PS4 on December 5th for $20.99. Space Date 346. The crew of a Terran Federation ship arrives on the planet Roak. With the help of a stalwart band of local heroes, the crew must work together to unravel a mystery and halt a galactic war. Star Ocean First Departure R is a remake of the very first Star Ocean, complete with 3D graphics and CG cutscenes. And then we got Arizona Sunshine coming to Oculus Quest on December 5th for $40.
Cool. I really want to get an Oculus Quest. I know this is kind of just like out of the blue. But like ever since they announced the whole Quest Link thing, like I eventually was planning on getting like a PC powerful enough to like handle VR, but I know it's out of the cards right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so just get a Quest.
That's what I was thinking. I'll get the Quest, and then when I eventually do get a PC that can handle it, I'll already have the Quest ready to just link up via Quest Link. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude.
Anyways, I'm sorry, but proceed. This is a great game, by the way.
Yeah, in Arizona sunshine, you've been driving around for God knows how long when you hear a flash of a human voice on the radio, confirming your belief that there are still survivors out in the blistering heat of the post-apocalyptic remains of the Grand Canyon State. Arizona Sunshine poses a twofold battle for survival in a VR zombie apocalypse in which players need to navigate the hordes of zombies coming for their brains, as well as the scorching heat that they will come to hate in their search for human contact.
Man, sweet. Dude, that is a fun game. And it's got co-op, so like you can like
Nice.
play with other people and go through this whole adventure with a partner. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds good. And then we got Mosaic coming to PC on December 5th for $19.99. Mosaic is about a person living a bleak and repetitive life in a cold, systematic city. That's my life. No, I'm just kidding. Every day looks and feels the same way, and you have no meaning or sense of purpose in your life. No, this is biography.
Just at me next time.
Yeah, for real. Until one day when strange things start to happen around you and everything changes. Still waiting on that day. Darksiders Genesis is coming to PC and Stadia on December 5th for $29.99. In Darksiders Genesis, the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, Strife, is called upon to save humankind from certain destruction at the hands of Lucifer.
They're just skipping consoles? They're going straight to Stadia?
I think it's already on.
The fuck is this?
It's already on console.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just later coming to Stadia.
I was to say, man, that's just unacceptable.
And we got Raging Loop coming to PC on December 5th for $29.99. Immerse yourself in Raging Loop, a thrilling psychological horror visual novel taking place in the secluded Japanese village of Yasumizu. A heavy fog surrounds the village, preventing everyone from ever leaving. Ancient gods have come back to hunt the villagers down one by one. The feast has begun. Can you escape the village alive? And then we got Don't Die, Minerva, coming to Xbox One and PC on December 5th. Couldn't find a price for this game. On a dark and stormy night, 11-year-old Minerva discovers a haunted house deep in the woods, and before she knows it, she is in for the fight of her life. Don't Die, Minerva is a roguelite action RPG set in a haunted house. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to read that whole thing. And then we got Big Pharma coming to PS4 on December 5th for couldn't find a price. What if you had it in your power to rid the world of disease, to improve the lives of millions, to ease suffering and cure the sick, and earn a tidy profit? As the head of your own pharmaceutical conglomerate, you have this power resting in your hands.
Oh, this is going to be tight.
Yeah, will you use it for good? Being totally altruistic may not be the best business plan. The uncomfortable truth is there an ointment for that? Is that some remedies are more profitable than others, and illness is good for business.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a Zoo Tycoon type game, but
that sounds like my kind of thing, dude. You know, I've always been into those like SimCity kind of like, you know, games like that, you know?
Yeah, I love Big Pharma. No, I'm just kidding. Alien Isolation is coming to Switch on December 5th for $34.99.
Really?
Yeah,
cool.
This is the survival horror Alien.
Yeah, the good
game.
one.
Yeah. And then we got Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey, coming to PS4 and Xbox One on December 6th for $39.99. Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey is a third-person open-world action-adventure survival game series by Panache Digital Games and acclaimed game designer Patrice Desilets. Players must explore, expand, and evolve in order to advance their clan to the next generation in the harsh, ruthless, yet beautiful land of Neogene Africa. Embark on the most incredible odyssey known to humankind, human evolution. And then we got Assassin's Creed The Rebel Collection coming to Switch on December 6th for $39.99. Get 2 action-packed games and all past DLC included with Assassin's Creed The Rebel Collection. Become the most feared pirate in the Caribbean in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and transform into the ultimate assassin hunter in Assassin's Creed Rogue. So
that's pretty cool. I mean, Black Flag is, in my opinion, the best Assassin's Creed game that ever came out.
A lot of people disagree, which is weird. I thought that was one of the most popular ones, but it's not.
Man, it's so good though. Like, I mean, people can disagree, and like, you know, they might be right in some aspects, but it's just such a good game. Like, I don't know, something about the other Assassin's Creed games just doesn't feel like as tight to me or something.
Yeah.
You know, like something about that game just feels amazing,
Feels
and like
toy.
And like the naval combat in other games, it's like it almost feels a little out of place, but like in the pirate world, it's like okay, it makes sense, and like you feel like a pirate. You don't feel bad about like pillaging ships and shit because you're a fucking pirate. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's tight. It's cool.
Hell yeah.
And the ghost ship battles, dude. The ship battles in general are awesome.
Then we got Ashen, coming to PS4 and Switch on December 9th. I couldn't find a price for this game, but Ashen is an action RPG about a wanderer in search of a place to call home. There is no sun, and the only natural light comes from eruptions that cover the land in ash. This is a world where nothing lasts, no matter how tightly you cling to it. And then we got Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries coming to PC on December 10th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries will feature intense PvE mech combat and an immersive career-based mercenary campaign. Oh my gosh, driven by player choice. And then we got Call of Juarez Gunslinger coming to Switch on December 10th for $19.99. From the dust of a gold mine to the dirt of a saloon, Call of Juarez Gunslinger is a real homage to the Wild West tales. Live the epic and violent journey of a ruthless bounty hunter onto the trail of the West's most notorious outlaws. Blurring the lines between man and myth, this adventure made of memorable encounters unveils the untold truth behind some of the greatest legends of the Old West.
I like the Call of Juarez series just fine, but it's such a strange
title.
Yeah, such a strange thing to like resurrect for Switch or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's too old. And then we got Fishing Barents Sea coming to Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 December 10th for $19.99. Fishing Barents Sea is a fishing and ship simulation game by the Norwegian developer team Misk Games. It invites players to explore the impressive Barents Sea and its abundance of maritime life on board of 6 authentic ships. Players will get the chance to move around freely on their fishing boats across a huge open world map, which has been modeled after real areas in northern Norway, and go in search of the best fishing zones for cod, mackerel, redfish, and more. And then we got Boneworks coming to PC on December 10th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but Boneworks is a narrative VR action adventure using advanced experimental physics mechanics. Dynamically navigate through environments, engage in physics-heavy combat, and creatively approach puzzles with physics. And then we got Fuji coming to PS4 on December 10th for $14.99. A serene, mystical journey that traverses a series of otherworldly organic landscapes. Fuji is a respite for weary travelers. That's about all I'm going to read on that. And then we got Omega Labyrinth Life coming to PC on December 10th for $49.99. Labyrinth Life delivers a lewd, busty, and hardcore roguelike experience utilizing turn-based tactics and growing powers that are bestowed within each maiden's breast. The story unfolds at Bell's Floors Academy, a spacious school with a beautiful floral garden that holds a sacred flower of legend known as Flora, which radiates a mysterious power that is rumored to grant an everlasting bloom effect to the rest of the flowers in the garden. Suddenly, the everlasting bloom to the flowers in the garden wither away when maiden Hinata Akatsuki transfers to the academy. Now, Hinata, along with a new cast of stunning maidens from the academy, go off on an adventure, exploring a sacred dungeon in hopes of returning the garden back to its grandeur, and to fulfill their own hopes and dreams at Bell's Floors Academy. Omega Labyrinth Life brings this series to gamers with the franchise's sexual content as originally designed for the Japanese game market. Sweet.
So it's like a sex game?
I guess it's real sexy. And then we got Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek coming to PC on December 10th for $29.99. Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek is the exciting prequel to the stealth horror hit. Find out what happens right before the events of the main game.
I didn't even know there was like a plot to the main game. I just
Me either.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it for this week's releases.
All right.
Give me a second. I'm gonna.
A lot of stuff coming to Switch this week.
Oh yeah, dude.
Big Switch week.
Switching
it up this week.
Yeah.
You know.
So we do have some games with gold for December, starting with The Final Station. It's coming to Xbox One on November 16th through December 15th. So it's already here, but you have it till the 15th. And then Insane Robots is from December 1st through the 31st.
I like that.
Do you, though?
I don't. I don't like that at all.
And then Jurassic World Evolution from December 16th through January 15th.
God, I thought the PlayStation games were bad.
Yeah. And then we got, for the Xbox 360 and Xbox One, we have Toy Story 3, December 1st through the 15th.
Oh, my God.
And then the only thing that's somewhat okay, we got Castlevania Lords of Shadow and Mirror of Fate HD from
like
December 16th. Yeah, December 16th through the 31st.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's okay. PlayStation's pretty bad this month too. We've got Titanfall 2, which is probably the best thing we're getting.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
That's actually a really good game.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 is awesome. But then our second game is Monster Energy Supercross.
What are you talking about, dude? That's all I'm about.
I play Monster Energy Supercross like 4 hours a day, bro. So you can just stop that.
Yeah, just fuck off, dude.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. We only get 2 games now. They stopped giving us lots of them.
Fucking whack, dude. Anyways, so we'll jump on over to currently playing. Let you guys know what we've been playing. So I went on Black Friday because I didn't have internet until today. I've been in my new apartment since Friday.
Right.
And today is Tuesday. Just got internet.
God.
Yeah, so I couldn't play any of my Xbox games.
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't update all of them before I lost internet. So, like, even the games that I owned on disc, I could not play.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's trash, dude.
That's how it was with my PlayStation, too. Like, it's fucking horrible. You have to, like, you have to, like, back up the files and shit. It's fucking trash.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's like really, guys?
What happened to old school, like, just put my game... I paid for this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's on a disc, dude, you should just be able to play it wherever. That's the one good thing about the Switch.
Yeah, you can play anything that you buy, even without internet.
Yeah.
So, I went on Black Friday, and I got Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, which I did a little poll on the Instagram for everybody who's on there, and I saw that 12 people chose Mario Kart 8 over Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, which I think is just people going off of only playing Mario Kart, because Crash Team Nitro Fueled is like 100 times better than Mario Kart 8.
I think most people are probably like me. You know, they've seen videos of it, but haven't actually ever like played Crash Team Racing Nitro Kart.
Yeah, which I got for $15 at Target. It's normally, like $30.
What a steely.
It was really good.
Popped a steely on them.
I popped it, dude. I'm always popping stillies, dude. That's all I do at the skate park. But anyways, so it's really good. It's just like Mario Kart 8, except it has a campaign. So there's like a full story.
Really? There's like a story in it?
Yeah, there's like a story, and you unlock characters. They're not all already unlocked for you.
Oh, that's fun.
Unlock levels.
I love unlocking characters in games.
Me too. It's bullshit that Mario Kart 8, it just comes with everything already unlocked. It's like, what's the point of fucking getting the game?
Right.
I mean, it's great if like you're like, oh, I'm going to have a bunch of people over tonight, so I need everything unlocked.
Yeah.
It's already there. But this gives you a purpose to play the game when there aren't a bunch of people there.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Smash Bros. You know what I mean? Like, I love that I have to work to unlock all the characters, at least at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gives the game purpose, when you're alone. And then also, it's skill based. So Mario Kart is like highly like randomized on like whether you're gonna get hit by some shit, and so is this game. But the drift is like super skill based. It's not like the drift in Mario Kart where you just drift and it's like, oh, well, I drifted at the right time, so it's all good. This game, you have to drift, and then while you're drifting, you have to pay attention to your exhaust. And when your exhaust turns black, you hit the other, like you hit left trigger to basically give yourself a boost, and you can do it up to 3 times during a drift. And then if you land it, the third one, then you'll have like an acceleration boost whenever you let go of the drift. And the whole time you're trying to monitor your drift and not fly off into the grass or do something else. So it's super intense. Dude.
Sounds technical.
It's very technical. It's a hard game. Like, it's really hard, but it's really like the payoff is worth it. Like, if you can like get it down, because like the first 3 hours I was having so much trouble, but then like like my little sister's boyfriend came over and was playing with me, and like dude, I was just kicking his fucking ass like right off the bat, and like and like after I explained to him how the drift works, then it became an actual challenge, and like it took him about an hour before he could catch up to where I was at. It was pretty cool to see that it wasn't just random. It was actually like skill based and technical. So
that's really cool. I'd like to play just because I feel like the environments would be cool. It'd be like almost like a modern Diddy Kong Racing with like all the jungle environments and stuff.
It's very similar to that, like in the story mode. Like you go around and you have to. Like, you start out in this, like, open world area and, like, go to different places to do races, and then you, like, battle a boss, Oh,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. Anyways, what you been playing?
So I've been playing Pokemon Shield a lot. I've been doing max raid battles with my friend Matt. He's been coming over and, like, we, like, kick it. He's got his little handheld Switch, and I got mine hooked up to the TV or whatever, and, like, when you're in vicinity of another Switch, they, like, read each other or whatever when you're playing Pokemon, and it just, like, knows that he's there. He doesn't have to hook up to my Wi-Fi or anything, and we can go online and do, like, raids together with people. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat how it works. But we were playing a whole lot of Shield, doing raids a whole lot, having fun with that. But then I've also been playing that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. I finally beat it.
I'm very upset I couldn't keep playing this game because I didn't have internet. So.
Oh my god. I won't ruin anything for you, but man, it's definitely the most satisfying thing I've ever completed. Like,
really?
Oh yeah. Like, after I beat that final boss after like 20 times of trying, when I finally got that win, you know what I mean? It was just like, all the bosses in that game were like that. You know what I mean?
Definitely. The sisters, the seventh sister and stuff like that.
How far are you? Like, what's the last thing that happened in your game?
Honestly, I don't remember. It's been since Friday since I played. So
what's the last boss you fought?
I think it was the second sister.
The second sister? Oh, so you still got a ways to go, I think.
Yeah, I think I do. I was like on the third planet, I think.
Have you gone to Death? Has the story made you go to Dathomir
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you're in for a treat. Oh, man.
I'm very excited to get back into that game.
It gets so intense. But, dude, like, I gotta say, like, man, I get it now. I understand why people like Dark Souls. You know what
just
I mean?
that payoff of, like, getting really good.
Yeah, it's that, and it's, like, it's the feeling of, like, beating something that, like, the first time you did it, you think, there's no way I'm gonna do this. There's no way I'm ever gonna fucking win this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you do it eventually, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. You know what I mean? It's like...
No, I completely agree. That's how I felt about it. I was like, this is kind of hard. But then after a while, I was like, it feels good, though.
Well, and it also is rewarding. It rewards your, like, exploration a lot. Like, if you go off the beaten path and, like, fight, like, hidden mini bosses and, like, fucking find secret chests that are, like, fucking hidden behind, like, layers of puzzles and shit. It's like, if you do all that, you'll get, like, the game will in turn become easier over time. Like, the hardest parts of the game to me were when I went off exploring on my own. But at the end of the day, that's what ended up making me even able to beat the game at the end. Because if you don't go off exploring and find the fucking, like, stem packs or whatever, that's the most important thing. Like, have you found any, like, extra stems for BD?
Yeah, of course. Like, upgrades for what is his name? BD?
Yeah, he has, like, all kinds of upgrades. Two of the most important ones you need are the stem packs you get for BD. Like, I had 8 by the end of the game. So he would hold 8 in his little head, and like I needed all 8 of them to beat that fucking last boss, dude.
Oh damn.
You know what I mean? And I think there's like only 10 in the game, so I feel like I explored pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
But one of the other things that's super important is like, you know how there's like the sliceable chests and shit?
Yeah.
Like you got to get his little slicer.
I've already got that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Got that a while
shit
back.
is super important. Like there's so many chests you walk by and you're like, fuck, I want to slice that, you know?
Yeah, and shortcuts and doors and stuff.
Oh, the shortcuts. That's one thing I learned like halfway through the game is like if I unlock a shortcut, I usually should go back through the shortcut and try to find a little meditation point. Like I got in this ritual where like I would go to the little meditation points depending on where I was and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, the one complaint I have about the game is like how once you beat like whatever you're supposed to do on that planet, you have to run all the way back to like.
Oh man, but see, like, that's part of the challenge.
It is.
What I mean,
it's still kind of lame though. There should be like an option to fast travel or something.
True, but a lot of times when you're on your way back to the ship is like when they throw some kind of major storyline thing at you, or they'll have like some kind of shortcut that you couldn't have gotten to on the way to where you were coming from, and then on the way back you'll like have some ability that lets you get to this different area where you find one of those like stim pack things for BD or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of that. Like in the backtracking, they like try to.
It's very Metroid. Like it's like on the backtrack, like there's gonna be something you need.
Yeah, or just hordes of new enemies waiting for you. That's one thing I kind of enjoy about the game is like a lot of times the enemies on a planet will like react to the plot of the game. You know, so if like something happens, like the Empire leaves the planet, you'll see more monsters instead of stormtroopers or whatever.
For
you
sure.
know, I think that's really cool.
That is tight.
I don't know. I like seriously like everything about that game. Like I wish,
though it is very glitchy in my opinion.
It doesn't even bother me at this point. I want another game this difficult, but my problem is like I'm not into like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, and it's not like because of the difficulty, it's just like the setting.
Like, I feel like you'd like Bloodborne more than you would
Dark Souls. But both of them don't appeal to me, but what does appeal to me is Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah,
I think that might be the next thing I try to tackle, or Neo. I've heard Neo's cool. I'm just not into like the medieval thing, you know.
Me either.
Although it does look kind of cool. Like I might try it, but it's just like out of all the like Souls style games, that's the one that calls to me the least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, though I don't expect it to be or even close to as easy as this game.
Oh no,
like,
I don't.
I played Dark Souls 2 like back when I worked at Game Exchange. I was able to rent games, and I rented Dark Souls 2 for the Xbox One, and dude, I could not get past the first like 10 minutes of the game. That's
really?
how fucking hard it is. And there's no difficulty settings. Like, you just go in on what the game is normally. And, like, dude, I just couldn't deal with it. After 2 hours, I just gave up. I was like, fuck this game.
See, I almost want to, like, restart Jedi Fallen Order on, like, the hardest difficulty, you know, and redo it. Because I feel like by the end of the game, I was almost too good at it. You know what I mean? Like, everything short of, like, a fucking epic-ass boss, I would just murder in its tracks. You know what I mean? But I think that's, again, because I spent so much time, like, leveling up my character and stuff, you know?
For sure.
But I also think, you know, I don't know. I feel like it'd be really, really hard on fucking... Because it was hard as fuck. Like, it was so hard.
Yeah, the bosses were definitely
I think
really
would be
hard.
fun to play on a really hard difficulty is, like, go and play the God of War again, but do it on, like, the hardest difficulty. I think
that might be tight.
That would be really tight, I feel like.
So what else have you been playing?
So I've been playing that, and man, I don't know. I finished that, and I just have this like hole in my heart. I need something fun and challenging like that, you know, again. But I don't have anything like that right now. So I downloaded the Talos Principle, and I've been playing a little bit of that. It's it's got like strong Portal vibes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like you're solving puzzles,
physics-based puzzles.
Yeah, and it's less physics-based and more like stealth and cunning-based. I don't know, it's weird. Like most of the encounters I've had in the game are like puzzles that revolve around you sneaking past these like floating balls that like try to attack you, and like you deactivating portals with these like things. I don't know. But like there's this overlying like theme to the game. It almost seems like you're like stuck in a simulation or something. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm really curious to find out more. So I don't know. It's not the greatest thing I've ever played. Like, it got a lot of praise, you know? So I'm thinking that it's gonna like get a lot better, because I just started playing it, you know? But as it stands, it's like mildly interesting with like okay puzzles.
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
what I mean? But I'll have more to report on Talos Principle next week for sure.
Yeah, you should get Sekiro. I want to know what you think about that.
I think I will. I think that's my next play. If I can get it at a decent price, you know. I was thinking about trying Dark Souls 3 just because, okay, I don't want to play Dark Souls 2, not because of the graphics. You know what I mean? I want something that's beautiful, like
well, they have like the remastered version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what the one on Xbox One and I believe on PS4 is like. It's called like The Sinner or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a...
Well, if it looks as good as 3, because I know 3 looks good, you know, and I don't really know how much the plot matters, you know.
I think it's just lore heavy. Like Google which one you should play first, and like they always like. There's like people who are obsessed with that game, and there's like so many forums that tell you which one to play for what, you know.
Yeah.
And
I bet I could get the other, like, I bet I could get Dark Souls for cheap, I guess, is my point.
Yeah.
I actually own Bloodborne on my PlayStation. I just have to, like, activate my PlayStation Plus again.
I feel like Bloodborne would be better just because they say it's quicker paced. It's a lot quicker, and I like the whole Castlevania vibe it gives off.
I don't necessarily mind the slow pace. I mean, I feel like Star Wars was kind of slow paced if you think about it in some respects. You know what I mean?
It was a lot quicker than fucking Dark Souls. Yeah. Way quicker.
Well, either way, you know.
But either way, yeah, let me know. And that's all you've been playing?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, guys, let us know what you've been playing in the comments of the show, or, you know, on Facebook at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast. We'd love to know, and we want to talk to you about what you've been playing. We're going to jump on over to the topic of the show, the main part of the show, the meat and potatoes. Today, we're just going over like every Star Wars game ever, but we're just calling it a history of Star Wars games.
That's right. If I can get my little thing to pull up, you know, when I thought this would be a good idea, I didn't realize there were so many.
Yeah, we're not
going
to talk about every single game. I think we should avoid ones that like aren't like major Star Wars games. You know, like, and I don't mean major as in like, oh, they were super popular, but like, I think we should avoid ones that are like Jar Jar's, you know, fucking, you know, story time or some bullshit.
Oh, no. We're learning about all these motherfuckers.
Oh, my God. Do we have to do that?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. See how much time we have.
Most of them I'm going to just gloss over, though. You know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
And we'll talk about the ones we've played, you know,
Yeah.
like, or the ones that we have experience with.
Yeah, so the first one, and I'm going to try to do these chronologically. I might get a little mixed up. The first one, though, is kind of interesting because, you know, I had a little bit of a trouble finding which one actually came out first. Okay, so there's like Return of the Jedi Death Star Battle, which most sources say came out second. But
yeah, that's the Atari one?
Yeah. It's Atari 2600, and most sources say it came out in 1983, but there's also several sources that say it came out in 1978. So it's
that's
like,
impossible because the first movie came out in 77, I believe.
Well, I'm thinking maybe it came out in some kind of like arcade or some kind of like something like that. I have no idea. But whatever the case may be, it's widely regarded as the second Star Wars game that ever came out. The first Star Wars game that ever came out, technically, was the Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back for the Atari 2600 in 1982.
Yeah, that's the game where you like fight the giant AT-ATs.
Right.
AT walkers.
That's the whole game. It's the one scene from The Empire Strikes Back where you're in the you're fighting the AT.
Yeah, you just shoot them.
You're shooting them on Hoth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a big hit, and it spawned, I don't know if it spawned these games, but lots and lots and lots of Star Wars games came
For
out
sure.
after that. So after that, of course, we got Star Wars the arcade games. Not the trilogy arcade where you like have the lightsaber and you fight Darth Vader, but the old school ones with the vector graphics.
Yeah, very like Starfighter type games.
Yeah, so that was 1983. Same year, we have Star Wars Jedi Arena. This is the first game that lets you use lightsabers, but more or less you're just blocking like a beam of light coming at your side of the screen.
So like it's like overhead view. You see like your head and like your shoulders, and you see a lightsaber, and then like the little droid that shoots the little light at you, is like going back and forth, and you just block that. Yeah.
And then there's the Star Wars Return of the Jedi one we talked about earlier that we're not sure if it was the first or second. We also have Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Came out in 1984, game loosely based on the movie of the same name. This came to Atari ST, I think. I don't know. Let's see. Star Wars 1987 NES platformer. Ewoks and the Dandelion Warriors on MSX. Star Wars Droids: The Adventures of R2-D2 and C-3PO 1988.
That come to like PC or what?
So this one was let's see. It says it came to Spectrum, whatever the fuck that is, and the Commodore 64.
Oh, okay. So it was a computer, like Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Home computer.
And then we have Star Wars. This is for Nintendo. It says, hang on.
Is that Super Star Wars or Star Wars?
It just says Star Wars. This came out in 91, and it must be just for the normal NES. Yeah. Then, let's see. So that ends page 1 of our 5-page thing.
Okay.
We're getting through this a lot faster than I thought we would. So
yeah, well, I think we're not really given descriptions of everything.
Yeah.
So
good. No.
Yeah. There's only so much we can talk about with these early ones.
Most of the whack ones are here on page 4. Let's see. Oh my god, what happened? I'm so confused now.
But yeah, I think we're about to get into like Super Star Wars, right?
I think so. This website that I'm on is absolute just garbage right now. I apologize.
It's fine. It's all right.
It's trying so hard. All right. That's fucking weird.
Well, while you're looking there, I'll try and
I apologize. Just bear with me for a second.
Every Star Wars
okay.
game.
I feel like oh, here we go. Okay, it was giving me crap, but now it's back. Okay, I apologize, guys. So we got Star Wars Attack on the Death Star, 1991. Okay.
What was that on?
This was a PC game. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Attack on the Death Star.
Attack on the Death Star. Blast TIE fighters, scour the surface, and destroy the Death Star in this Japanese Star Wars game from MNM.
Cool.
Not like M&M, but like...
That would be dope.
Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. I feel like we talked about that one in the last page. Super Star Wars 1992. This is the one we were talking about a minute ago. This is one of the more iconic Star Wars games.
Yeah, I had this game. I think I still have it somewhere. But that one's cool because you get to play as like Han Solo. You can also play as Luke with like you get to ride around on the fucking, what's it called? What's the
speeder?
No, not the speeder, but the creature.
It did have little speeders, and you could like there was a whole like thing where you're flying around. They had like all kinds of little flying parts and like lightsaber parts. It was cool. Yeah,
it was very very story based, like or the movie based almost.
Yeah. Let's see. We got and the graphics were like leaps and bounds better than any other Star Wars thing at the time.
Yeah, and you get to use a lightsaber. And it's like an action platformer. So like it was like basically imagine the Force Unleashed for people who only had Super Nintendo.
Yeah. So we got Star Wars The Pinball Machine, 1992.
We all know what that is.
Star Wars Chess to PC, 1993.
Yeah, you could play as like all the Star Wars characters, but in a chess game.
That actually sounds kind of tight. I'd play that.
Yeah, you like have C-3PO just getting chopped up by Darth Vader, like on the chessboard. It's tight.
We got another Star Wars arcade game. Actually, I think this is the same Star Wars arcade game, but it was like came to like home computers. You know what I mean? And the Sega 32X. This is 1993. And then we have Star Wars Rebel Assault. This is 1996.
That was a PC game, right?
Yes.
Rebel Assault.
Came to Mac.
What happens in that game? Does it give a description?
Yeah, it says Star Wars Rebel Assault follows the story of Rookie One, a rebel pilot in training, and his fight against the Empire, both from the cockpit of a fighter and on foot.
Yeah, see, this is where I believe the expanded universe starts, like where they started actually creating stories in video games. Like
this is the one that was like Doom, right? Kind of.
No, you're thinking of Shadow of the Empire, Shadows of the Empire. So, but Rebels is one of the first ones that was like, okay, we're going to create new characters for the Star Wars lore in video games. So it's pretty interesting.
Extending the universe.
Yes, correct.
I don't know why that one is. It's kind of out of chronological order here because we went from 1993 to 1996, and then the next one we do goes back to 1993. It's Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. So this is another Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's just
Star
a sequel.
Wars game. Yeah,
very
I guess
cool.
that other one did well. So we have Star Wars X-Wing B-Wing for PC. This is another 93 game. 93 was a hot year for Star Wars. It says this expansion to LucasArts' original X-Wing game gives players a new campaign featuring the powerful B-Wing assault fighter.
Yeah, and most of honestly, LucasArts didn't even start making Star Wars games till like the 90s.
No,
all of the ones before it were not LucasArts.
And it's funny because LucasArts existed for a long time at that point in time, but they were banned for some reason from using the Star Wars name because of like a licensing deal with somebody.
So they were just like making like the old school like point and click adventure games.
It's kind of a good
like
thing.
Monkey's Island.
Yeah, I was going to say they made Monkey Island, which probably never would have come out of it if they had just come out of the gate making
with
Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Very interesting.
I think it would have been cool to do a point and click Star Wars game like Monkey Island, where you got to use, I don't know,
play Han Solo or like play as a bounty hunter.
That would be sick, dude.
You
got to
cool.
use your wits to like solve puzzles and shit. Okay, so we've got Star Wars TIE Fighter 94.
It's a very popular one back in the day.
Totally.
It's like a 3D. You're flying around on the TIE Fighter shooting in space.
Yeah, this is the successor to that X-Wing game we were just talking about. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this might be the one I was thinking of. That's the first-person shooter. I could be wrong. This is Star Wars Dark Forces.
That is the first-person shooter.
PS1. Yeah.
Yeah. Read the description on that.
Oh yeah, it totally is. 1995 first-person shooter by LucasArts, released for PC and PlayStation. It stars Imperial officer turned mercenary Kyle
Katarn.
Yeah,
Kyle Katarn. So this is the prequel.
This goes on to become Jedi Outcast, right?
Yeah, Jedi Outcast, and he actually is one of the teachers at Jedi Academy.
Oh wow!
So this
they have their own little like world that they built with that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's just expanded universe stuff. So he meets Luke. All this stuff was true expanded universe Star Wars stuff until Disney bought it, and then was like, all of this is just legends. So none of this actually happens anymore.
Oh, okay.
But which is really upsetting.
Well, they still said it's legends, though, right? So I mean, there could be,
so
theoretically.
Legends aren't canon. So everything that's canon is considered expanded universe, and then everything outside of canon is called legends, which is lame.
Oh.
So basically everything like KOTOR is just legends now. It's no longer canon, which is upsetting. But
that is upsetting. But I mean, if they're going to label it as legends, like technically the people in the world could be like, the legends say, you know what I mean? They could
technically, I guess, but
I like that instead of just completely wiping it, you know?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know.
But yeah, Dark Forces was what started it all with Kyle Katarn.
Fuck yeah, dude. I actually would love to go back and play that. I watched a little bit of gameplay, and it looks like Doom or something, you know?
Yeah, it's very Doom heavy. Shadows of the Empire is the sequel to Dark Forces, and that came to N64, so you can actually play that on N64.
Really? I would love. I bet I could get an emulator or something of that. That'd be really cool. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire. This is 96 for PS1, PC, and Mac. It says Rebel Assault 2 puts you in the flight suit of Rookie 1 as he assists the Rebel Alliance. So this is the same character, sequel. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, I love. They did so much with the expanded universe with video games back in the day.
I feel like we're starting to get back to that with Star Wars specifically. You know, with Disney like overlording it, I feel like we're getting a lot more Star Wars content and stuff with a lot more in production. You know?
Yeah, kind of. With Cal Kestis, I mean, he's interesting. But
I like Cal Kestis. I like the characters in that show.
I do too.
Or in the game.
It's a little on the nose though. Like I feel like with the characters, and it just kind of follows the same stories we've already heard, you know.
Did you find the little monster guy?
No, not yet.
And put him on your crew? He's like hiding on one of the planets. I won't give you.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
We've got this one is one we can leave off. There you go. We've got one that didn't make the cut. Star Wars Shadow of the Empire 96, one of the earliest Nintendo 64 action games, puts players into the role of mercenary Dash Rendar.
Yeah, it's Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar in this hybrid third-person shooter and flight combat game on the Star Wars Expanded Universe project of the same name.
Yep.
We've got... Oh my goodness, what the heck? My phone is just tripping. I apologize. Okay. All right, here we go. We've got Star Wars TIE Fighter Defender of the Empire 1996. They don't have a description for that, but it's a LucasArts game, so... It's
a sequel to that TIE Fighter game.
Yeah. So LucasArts must have the rights to it at this point.
Yes. Basically, once the 90s hit, they took over.
Ah, okay. Cool. Good. Where they should be.
Yeah.
Star Wars Yoda Stories 1997. Simplistic desktop adventure game with randomly generated scenarios as Jedi in training Luke Skywalker travels throughout the galaxy to aid the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of cool for like a kid's game.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Star Wars X-Wing versus the TIE Fighter. I know this was kind of a big deal. The third installment in the X-Wing game series, which focuses mostly on multiplayer, can only be played using a joystick.
It's very cool.
Yeah. Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. This is where Kyle Katarn comes back. This is what we were talking about a minute ago. Did this only come to PC? You said it came to N64, right?
No, the first Dark Forces came to... not Dark Forces, but Shadow of the Empires came to N64. That one might have come to N64 as well, but I don't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Another Star Wars pinball machine. Star Wars Monopoly. That shouldn't count. Star Wars Masters of the Terras Kasi.
So this was a fighting game, a 3D fighter similar to like Soul Calibur.
Oh, that sounds tight, dude.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I mean, it wasn't fun, but it was cool to see.
It sounds like a good idea. I think it could be cool.
Kind of, except
I would like that, but with like, like that Nemesis game we're always talking about, Marvel Nemesis.
Yeah, that would be cool. Very cool.
That, dude.
But that's kind of what Star Wars Obi-Wan was.
Oh, yeah,
when it comes to the multiplayer.
That was actually really cool, though. I remember we had a lot of fun with that back in the day.
A lot of fun.
I mean, imagine with like today's, graphics and shit, how cool that would be.
Yeah.
Star Wars Rebellion, 1998. Choose to conquer the Star Wars galaxy as the Galactic Empire or free it from tyranny with the forces of the Rebel Alliance. One of my favorites. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade, 1998. So this is the one where you can play like a scene from each movie, and you can like lightsaber fight.
It's like first person.
This was like always. This is one of those arcade games I went straight for every time I would like see it.
They actually had this at the Huntsville Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, for a little while.
Dude.
In the little arcade they had there.
It was so sick, and you had the little joystick, so it felt right. Not only when you're like flying your ship or whatever, but then the lightsaber fight or whatever, it feels like you're like holding a lightsaber. It had this big, cool like thing you sat in with a huge screen and like sound. It was tight.
And you hear that.
Oh, dude, terrifying.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then we got Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
That was for the GameCube, or is that
N64 actually?
Oh, okay. That's the sequel to this was on GameCube,
right? If I remember correctly, this was one of the first games to actually utilize the graphics pack of the N64.
Yeah, the expansion
pack. Yeah,
yeah. So it just to make the graphics better.
Yeah,
is what it used it for. That was very cool.
Yeah.
It was just like your typical like X-Wing type game.
Yeah, I remember playing this one. It was really neat.
Yeah.
I think the sequel is like the Naboo fighter one, right?
No, Rogue Squadron 2.
Oh yeah,
on GameCube.
You show right.
Which was an exclusive to GameCube.
Cool. Okay, so we got Star Wars Millennium Falcon CD-ROM playset.
Oh, God.
An interactive FMV video game set during the original Star Wars trilogy. Box copies include keyboard-mountable Millennium Falcon interior and action figures.
That's so cool.
I know, right?
It's probably really shitty, but
Dude,
sounds really cool.
It looks cool if you look at the like picture. It's like got a little thing you put in front of the screen.
So interactive, dude.
Star Wars X-Wing Imperial Pursuit, 1998. Another one of the X-Wing series games. They really went all out with those.
Well, the X-Wing games were super popular back then because like just having like a 3D,
like a flight sim
Star
kinda,
Wars game was just really neat,
Totally. Star Wars Droid Works, 1998. Educational game where you make droids from a huge library of parts.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would have loved that as a kid.
Another educational game, Star Wars Anakin's Speedway, Build and Drive. So,
Star Wars.
A lot of building-related games for,
Anakin's Massacre.
Dude, I know, and it's funny because, like, in the picture, it's, like, young Anakin, and he's all, like, joyful, and
super
he's, like,
happy.
It's like, how do they, you can't, like...
that was before the prequel movies, though.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know what's coming, guys. You know what I mean? Like,
there wasn't even a young Anakin yet. In 1998, the movie didn't come out till 2000 with young Anakin. So
yeah, but didn't we know? I mean, like, didn't we all know Darth Vader was Anakin Skywalker? Yeah, like,
we know that, but we don't know how he became Darth Vader yet. We don't know the darkness that happened yet.
I guess so. Okay, so we got Star Wars X-Wing Alliance, 2000. That's another X-Wing game. This is the fourth game in the Flight Simulator series. Star Wars Yoda's Challenge, 99. So I'm getting totally out of chronological order here. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Seems like another educational game. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, for PC. 1999.
Oh, okay. So that's when the movie came out. It was 99. I thought it was 2000.
Yeah.
So, Phantom Menace came out in 99.
Yes.
What was the game like? We'll read the description.
It says an action-adventure adaptation of the first film in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, detailing the exploits of Jedi's Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi during the invasion of Naboo.
Oh, I had this game on Dreamcast, I think.
It says PS1 and PC.
I think it later came to Dreamcast because I'm pretty sure I had that.
I would love to see what this was like.
It's just like a 3D, like top down, not top down, but like isometric, like linear game. That plays through the movie, kind of.
Okay.
You fight droids and shit as Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
Was it any good or?
It was okay.
Okay. So here's the gem. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Yeah, this was for the N64. This is the Pod Racer game.
Right. It came to a lot of consoles, actually. It came to Dreamcast and computer. Based on the pod racing scene in the 1999 Star Wars film Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Racer is a fast-paced arcade-style racing game where players pilot dangerous anti-gravity vehicles known as pod racers.
It's really freaking hard.
It is, but it's also super fun. And like at the time, the graphics were off the chain, and the sound design was really good.
Yeah, and they decided to make that because they thought that was the highlight of the Phantom Menace because like everybody really hated the Phantom Menace. Like when it was surprisingly like because we were kids, we didn't know people hated it, you know. But
yeah,
like
I was into it.
Yeah, me too. But the OG like Star Wars fans were like, "This is trash," you know. But like all the kids loved the pod racing, they loved the lightsaber fights and stuff. Little did George Lucas know, we just hated Jar Jar. You know, everything else was cool. You know,
dude. Speaking of Jar Jar. And Star Wars Episode 1, The Gungan Frontier.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea?
This gem came to PC in 1999 and had a free creature poster included with the game.
I kind of want that though.
Right? 1999, another one, Star Wars Pit Droids. It seems like a puzzle game where you make droids. A lot of droid building games.
Yeah.
More Star Wars pinball. Okay, so Star Wars Force Commander. This one came out in 2000. In Force Commander, you guide BRENT Tantor from his humble beginnings in the Imperial Navy and through his defection to the Rebel Alliance.
Sounds like Finn.
Right? Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Power Battles.
That was a tight game.
I remember this one. This one was really tight.
Yeah.
This came to Game Boy Advance, PS1, and Dreamcast. It's basically...
Maybe that's the one I had, and I'm mistaking for Phantom Menace. But
maybe. It says Jedi Power Battles is a game from LucasArts where players play through some of the more explosive events from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, that's what I had. I had Jedi Power. I still have Jedi Power Battles for the Dreamcast.
Really? I kind of want to play it. Dude, we should totally do our next couch row up on that.
And I believe it's 2-player co-op. I'm almost positive.
Really? Dude, that would be so much fun.
Hell yeah.
Star Wars Math, Jabba's Game Galaxy.
Oh, boy.
Star Wars Racer Arcade. Okay, so this came out in 2000. I think it's basically just the arcade
pod racing
version of the one, you know.
They have this at Main Event. They're not Main Event, Incredible Pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to play that. I bet it's got the, like, fucking things you hold,
it does.
right? Oh,
yeah, you sit in, like, a little pod racer that looks like Anakin's pod racer.
Oh, I'm all about that. We got Star Wars Demolition. 2000 was another good year for Star Wars. Vehicle-based combat in the Star Wars universe. That was PS1, Dreamcast.
It's a good year because the movie just came out.
True.
After, like, 20 years of not being a movie. Or however long. Not 20. Yeah, I guess it was like 15 years or something.
Interesting. So, okay, check this out. I didn't know this. This is a news to me right here. But apparently, you remember that Star Wars Obi-Wan adventure game for Xbox?
Yeah.
Okay, apparently before it came to Xbox, it was a Game Boy Color exclusive called Star Wars Episode 1 Obi-Wan's Adventures.
No, but see, it wasn't called that on Xbox. Those are completely different games.
They're totally different?
Yeah, completely different games. On the Xbox, it's called Star Wars Obi-Wan. On Game Boy... I
could have swore it had an adventure in there.
No, it's just Star Wars Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Obi-Wan Adventures on Game Boy was like a completely different thing.
Interesting. Well, it looks cool. I don't know if it was. Star Wars Episode 1 Battle for Naboo.
That is the like Naboo starfighter game, right?
It says a follow-up to Star Wars Rogue Squadron set in the first film in the Star Wars prequel trilogy.
Yeah, it's like leading up to the events of the like Naboo like battle in space.
I remember playing this game actually. I feel like oh no, just kidding. It's the next one on the list that I remember playing. Star Wars Starfighter, dude.
Yeah, Starfighter was dope.
Dude, that was my shit. You got to pilot the Naboo, flyers like that are all cool looking, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the yellow ones with like the silver.
Dude, that was tight. I wish they would bring one of those back in the new movies. I know that sounds stupid, but like that would be cool.
I don't think they will because I was talking to my brother about this. I was like, why does everything in the prequels look sleeker than in the newer movies? Or not in the newer movies, but like, in the because it's based in a later time, like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
It's like, why does everything look whack in the original trilogy? But then
because the Empire took over?
It's because the economy was fucked up and like it was post-war, so like all the shit was like fucked up. And whenever
I was thinking like, what if you found like a dilapidated one and they like used the Force to like pull it out of a swamp or some shit?
Well, they talk about that in Jedi Fallen Order. He's like, this was a Clone Wars ship.
Yeah, dude, I saw one. Is that where you find the droid that's all fucked up and it's like
just at the beginning of the game?
Because I found a Clone War droid.
That's awesome.
One of the old Clone War droids, and he's like,
Roger,
a scrap from the Clone Wars or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There are a lot of cool Easter eggs in that game, man.
And history,
yeah. Cool. So we've got Star Wars Super Bombad Racing.
That sounds horrible.
It probably is. Kart racing meets Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh, I remember that.
So it's like
big head racers?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was like on the PlayStation 2, I think.
Yeah, PS2. Yeah. It was must have been one of the first fucking PS2 games they had out there. Oh, Starfighter was on PS2 also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bombad Racers was just trash. Like it was just like it was literally a kart racer. I remember that game.
I mean, that sounds kind of fun.
But they have like big heads. Like it was just like, yeah.
Star Wars. Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds 2001 Mac and PC.
That was like a strategy game,
right? Real time strategy. It says it actually uses Age of Empires 2's engine. So
yeah, so it was like an Age of Empires game, but you could play as like the Empire.
That sounds way cooler to me than normal Age of Empires to me.
I think you could play as Gungans. I can't remember who all the different races you could play as, or like the different like armies.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader.
That's for the GameCube.
Yes, this was GameCube exclusive. I think.
It was, yeah. It might have come to PS2 later, but it was a GameCube exclusive whenever it first came out. I remember that was like one of the only games I had for the GameCube when it first came out. And I remember it was cool because like even on like Hoth and all those different places, you could like walk around inside of the hangar. Like there wasn't like you couldn't like run around or anything like in the actual game, but you could run around in the hangar and choose which ship you wanted to fly in.
Yeah, I remember it having lots of different ships too that you could like pick from. I don't know.
Yeah, and you could, for some reason, you could like shoot a blaster. I don't remember why. Yeah.
I remember the graphics being really good for GameCube too.
Oh yeah, dude.
Star Wars Obi-Wan. Okay, you were right. And,
yeah.
This was like one of my favorite Star Wars games maybe ever. I really like how you okay, so this game would have you like running with one stick and controlling your lightsaber with the other stick,
which was very intuitive. I feel like
it felt good. I mean, like you'd like slash to the right and he'd like cut them in half, and it was like mostly you're fighting droids, so all the droids were like totally dismemberable, which was like really cool at the time because this was like one of the first like Xbox games. Like I think this was a launch game for Xbox. I could be wrong.
And for a game that came out when it did. And when Jedi Fallen Order just came out, it pisses me off that your lightsaber doesn't leave marks on everything that it touches in Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
but
yeah,
this
for
game,
real.
no matter where your lightsaber went, this is what made me want an Xbox because of how like next level it was.
Oh, dude.
Like if your lightsaber touched like a vase, it would leave a mark. Like no matter where the lightsaber was, it left marks and burns.
This was one of the first games that really made me feel like a Jedi. Like using the Force in this game felt incredible. This was one of the first games where you like pick something up with the Force and you're like, oh,
throw
fuck, dude, I'm a Jedi right now, dude, you know?
And there was multiplayer versus, like how we were talking about, like Marvel Nemesis.
Oh, man.
Like you could just run around. You could play as Mace Windu or like the Twi'lek guy.
So many different options, and you unlock characters like we were talking about earlier.
What's the Twi'lek guy's name?
I can't remember.
Oh my gosh,
I feel bad.
I always forget his name. But read the description on that one because I don't remember what the campaign was about.
Okay, it says Star Wars Obi-Wan puts the player in control of Obi-Wan Kenobi as a Padawan. The game starts in the events leading up to Episode 1 and continues into the events of Episode 1 itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, more expanded universe, stuff you didn't get to see in the first movie. But
it's such a good game, man. That's like probably, if I had to make a list of like my top 10 favorite like original Xbox games, that would definitely be on it.
For sure.
Star Wars Racer Revenge. They did a lot of racer games.
Yeah, this was the sequel to Racer. You can play as like older, like teenage Anakin in this game and stuff.
It's funny. It says it came out on PS2, but then it also says you can get it on PS3 and PS4 somehow. So
that's probably the backwards compatibility.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah. They must sell it on the store or something. That's interesting.
For sure.
Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. Again,
I remember this one.
Yeah.
Is this the one that was on Xbox where like you could find the droid like flipping burgers on one of the random asteroids?
I think maybe.
Let me see the picture of it.
It's this one?
Yep, absolutely.
That's the one?
That's the one. There's like an Easter egg in that game where like if you fly out to an asteroid, you'll see a droid with like a chef hat like flipping burgers on a on a grill.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. One of the best fucking Star Wars games ever made. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast.
Yeah, Jedi Outcast, you follow Kyle. Is it Katarn or Katan? I can't remember.
It's Katarn.
Yeah, Katarn. Kyle Katarn. So, like, you play as him. I believe this game starts out and you're, like, sneaking into a base, if I remember right. And I just remember that feeling of, like, holy shit, this is so cool. And, like, you can switch between first person and third person.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like you can pick up...
I know the original games were first person like only, and then at some point they were like, okay.
That was the Shadows of the Empire game. But this one, it's third person.
No, the other one too. There was Shadows of the Empire 2 was also first person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those older games were
yeah.
both first person. This one you can go into first person and you can pick up Empire weapons. Like you can use blasters and repeaters and you can throw like thermal detonators and stuff like that. But you also can use the Force and switch between Force moves and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and the multiplayer in this game, like you can choose dark side and light side Force powers. So like you can use like Force lightning if you want. You can throw your lightsaber, stuff like that. So cool. Such a good
really
game,
cool.
dude.
All right. So, and if you are into that, I think you can play that on Game Pass, right? Or
maybe
they
so.
might have taken it off. I'm not sure.
I have it on the original Xbox.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So we got Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Clone Campaigns. This is an expansion pack for Galactic Battlegrounds. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones.
That just followed the game.
Yeah, this was the Game Boy Advanced one that came out in 2002.
I used to have that too. I used to have that game. I bought like every fucking Star Wars game I could get my hands on when I was a kid.
Here's one that like everybody had just because it came like bundled with
the Xbox and Tetris
and GameCubes. Yeah, the Star Wars The Clone Wars, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that game, it wasn't very good as a Star Wars game. There was like a cool multiplayer thing where like you're in the Clone Wars, or not in the Clone Wars, but you're in like that level from the Clone Wars movie where like they have you held prisoner and like all those bug, like aliens are coming out to kill you. I forget where you're at in that movie, but it's like right before. You know what I'm talking about? Where like you're fighting all the bug alien creatures. It's where General Grievous was, like in the Clone Wars movie.
Oh.
You're like in that Coliseum and like they're just coming out to fight you, and it's like overhead view, and that's like the only time you get to use a lightsaber in this, really.
Really?
Yeah.
That's lame.
Yeah, it's not a really good game. It's very vehicle based. And the only time you are like running around with like a lightsaber and stuff, it's kind of like really ghetto. Like I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't feel like a AAA title.
Yeah.
But it was still fun for when it came out, and then like also it came bundled like with Tetris.
Yeah.
So you could just switch over to Tetris.
Oh man, that's bad when you got to switch over to Tetris.
It was bad.
So we got Star Wars The New Droid Army. This was another Game Boy Advance game. So we were switching to the last one that came out was a Game Boy Color game. So this is the first Game Boy Advance Star Wars game, I think. Taking place shortly after this second film in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, the new droid army follows Anakin Skywalker as he investigates a separatist plot to develop battle droids that are resistant to lightsabers. Sounds like a cool plot. Then 2002, we got Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Very little needs to be said about that. You play as Jango Fett. It's fucking cool.
I have that for GameCube, actually.
Great game. One of the better games
awesome.
on GameCube.
You like go and collect bounties. You're actually after a rogue Sith, or like a dark side Jedi, like is who you're trying to hunt down.
Yeah, the Dark Jedi Kamari Vosa.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. And it culminates up in the end where you fight her, which is insane because you're like a Mandalorian fighting a Jedi. Yeah.
That's epic. All right. We got Star Wars Galaxies, An Empire Divided.
It's an MMO.
2003.
I bought this. So, like, I didn't understand how PCs worked when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So, like, I thought I could just buy this and play it. I bought it and tried to play it on like my old shitty HP, you know, and like I couldn't get it to work. And plus we didn't have internet out where I lived that could handle it. It was very upsetting. So like all I could get it to was like the loading screen, and it would show all this awesome art and like what was happening in the game. And I was so pissed that I couldn't play this game.
Dude, yeah, this was like the pinnacle fucking MMO, Star Wars MMO until the Old Republic.
The Old Republic. They actually shut down the servers right when the Old Republic came out.
So. Probably for good reason. You know what I mean? Because you can't just be having two Star Wars MMOs out, you know? Yeah. Speaking of the Old Republic, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. In my opinion, one of the best games ever made, if not the best game ever made.
Yeah, it's the best Star Wars game ever made.
Easily.
But it could very well be one of the best video games ever made, like you were saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it follows the story of Darth Revan.
Dude. Such a
Darth
good...
Malak.
Darth Malak. All of them. Bastila. All the boys, all the girls. It came out in 2003. And goddamn, is it good?
Yeah, and when this game first came out, I didn't even play it just because I was like I had it, but I didn't play it because it wasn't like you could run around and kill everything.
Well, and also you look at it compared to other games at the time, and the graphics aren't anything that like blows you away.
No.
You know, it's not like super impressive looking or anything.
And it wasn't an action RPG or an action platformer or something. Like at the time I was a little kid, so I was like, what is this? I was like, why do I have to choose my attack and then it just happens? Like, why can't I use it? But once I like understood what an RPG really was and like got into it, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the first, like, I think in my experience is maybe the first like RPG that I really like got like really into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like so obsessed with like building my character how I wanted and like doing,
the perfect weapons.
Yeah, the perfect weapons, the perfect companions for every situation.
And AJ was telling me today that he saw some rumor that for the KOTOR, or the Knights of the Old Republic show that they're planning on doing, that they're eyeing Keanu Reeves as Revan.
That would be kind of sick.
It'd be interesting.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
No, me either. He kind of has the same hair.
I think it'd be cool. I want to see if they do Malak. I think Malak has the potential to be like the coolest live action villain ever. With his like
for sure
missing jaw and shit. It's all like
if they still use him though, because I mean Disney can change anything they want at this point because it's all legends. So
true, but I mean you've got such a dope, revered story laid out for you that really doesn't affect the universe in any way. I mean, because it's 4,000 years ago before the films. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like there's no way that anything you do is gonna like affect the
The ending though for Revan is so bleak and disturbing, like in the books, like written by Drew Karpyshyn, that I don't think they'll follow that same path.
I don't know. Maybe not, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of the Star Wars material that's been coming out lately and doing well has been kind of darker. Like Force Awakens or that game. It gets dark, man, towards the end.
The Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's got to get dark because there can't be any Jedi surviving at that point.
And like Mandalorian, I feel like even has kind of a darker tone about it than most Star Wars stuff. You know what I mean?
Not as dark as the end of Revan, dude. I'm telling you.
No, that's fair. I mean, but at the same time,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the potential of what could happen.
Truth. Okay, so 2003, the same year we have Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. So that's
a really good game that follows Kyle Katarn. I mean, you don't play as Kyle Katarn in this one, but Kyle Katarn is one of the teachers at the academy, Luke's academy, which is funny because in The Last Jedi, he talks about his academy that he was running where Kylo Ren and all that shit, goes down, but it's not the same academy.
Really?
Because this is all Legends. They changed it, so like Kylo Ren was never at the academy. In this game, you actually go and you find like holocrons and stuff. Pretty interesting.
That's really
fun
cool.
game. I also have this game.
Yeah, that's one that I download. I think I got that for free on
Gold.
Games with Gold or something a while back. Good game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has the guy who does the voice of Max in the Goofy movie.
Really?
Playing as your rival.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. He's actually in a lot of... He voice acts for a lot of games. He voice acted for like characters in Fallout and
really?
Fallout 3 and stuff like that.
I know a lot of those people that make a career out of that kind of thing. They end up in like, a lot of the same kind of projects because it's just like... I guess once you get your foot in the door in the industry... They
just keep using you.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3. This came out in 2003. Another popular year for Star Wars games.
Yeah.
This is a sequel to Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. So,
Yeah.
We got Star Wars Flight of the Falcon. Another 2003 game. This is on Nintendo. This is Game Boy Advanced. It's a Millennium Falcon game, more or less.
Yeah.
We got Star Wars Battlefront 2004.
Classic.
Big full-scale
it's a pandemic
battles.
Game, right?
Do what?
Didn't Pandemic make this game?
Oh, yes. They sure did. They did a great job, too.
Yeah, very, very good game, and so is the sequel. The sequel was great. I like the first one because it was kind of like a war of attrition. Like, you just fight until the enemy runs out of respawns.
I liked all the vehicles and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of good things going on there.
Different classes, like, you come in as, like, different, stormtroopers,
Oh, yeah.
like you could be a sniper,
or you get like the jetpack guy. That was fucking always cool.
Which I don't think that happened till 2.
Oh,
the jetpack guy.
Maybe not.
But in the first one, you could be between like a heavy machine gunner or like a sniper or a just different things that you could use the speeders and stuff like that. It was just really exciting.
Even the one that came out on PSP was pretty good.
It was, even though it got bad reviews. Like, I don't understand.
That's weird. I enjoyed it a lot.
Me too. Maybe we're just young to the point that we didn't need much to excite us.
Maybe. All right. We got Star Wars Trilogy, Apprentice of the Force. This came out in 2004 for Game Boy Advance. A lot of Game Boy Advance Star Wars games.
Yeah, I had some of them. I don't remember which ones, though.
This says, play as Luke Skywalker from episodes 4 to episode 6 in this Star Wars video game. Tight. That sounds cool. Yeah. Star Wars Galaxies Jump to Light Speed. I guess this is an expansion for Galaxies.
Yeah.
We got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. Often overlooked, never forgotten.
No.
The great fucking game. I mean, it's not quite as good as the first one, but damn, it's close, dude. It's so fucking good.
It's good if you take some time away from KOTOR, the first one, and then like
come
you're
back
in
to
the
it.
mood for a KOTOR-like game.
For it for a little bit.
Yeah.
It definitely scratches the itch. Like, if you just want more KOTOR and you've like played the first one like 18 billion times,
for sure.
We've got Star Wars Republic Commando.
Really good game.
This was another first-person shooter, right?
This was a first-person shooter that followed some of the clones, like you're playing as the clones.
Delta Squad.
Delta Squad. And it's pretty interesting. They tried to get really technical with it. Like you can command your squad around, and then it has a more like... what's the word for intimate, like I guess like battle with the enemies from Clone Wars, so like the weird bug alien creatures, and then like you're fighting like the droids up close and personal. It's a lot easier to get killed because you're not a Jedi. You don't have any force powers.
I love that. I like being like, I don't know. I like the games in the Star Wars universe that make you like not. I like the games that make you a Jedi too.
Yeah,
but I also don't mind
like the side
games.
stories.
Yeah, I don't mind the games that make you not a Jedi. I'd love to have like a KOTOR style game where you play as like a clone trooper or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Though we do need to speed this up. We're running out of time here.
Okay. So we got Republic Commando. We got Lego Star Wars the video game 2005.
They're all great. All the Lego Star Wars games are great, especially for co-op.
Yeah, this one I think is the first one like Lego game that was like one of the franchise Lego games. It had the first 3 movies in a game. We got Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith in 2004. I don't know why we're going back in time. PS2, Game Boy Advance. You know, it was an okay
it was all right.
game.
It was just a movie
best.
tie-in.
We got Star Wars Galaxies Episode 3, and another expansion here. We got Star Wars Galaxies Trial of Obi-Wan, another expansion here. Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005. We talked a little bit about that a minute ago. Star Wars Jedi Reading. We got another, that's a Leapster thing.
Nice.
Star Wars Jedi Math. I think we talked about that earlier.
We did, Jabba.
Yeah. Star Wars Battle Above Coruscant. Let's
Coruscant.
see. Coruscant. Yeah, it doesn't even tell you what that's for.
Coruscant's very interesting to me. The fact that it's a planet that's an entire, like the entire planet is a city. The entire fucking planet is a city. You know, like from one end to the, like all the way around.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I feel like I learn a little bit of Star Wars lore every day. We got Star Wars Challenge, a Star Wars trivia game. We've got Star Wars Empire at War. Play as either the Empire Rebellion in conflict, blah, blah, blah. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. I don't understand why Lego Star Wars 1 wasn't technically called the original trilogy, because according to the cover of the game, it has all 3.
It has all 3 of the prequel trilogy.
Oh, the prequel. Okay.
It's the original trilogy.
The original trilogy. Yeah. Got it. So you got 6 of the Star Wars games there. Star Wars Empire at War Forces of Corruption expansion. Star Wars Lethal Alliance, 2006. Lethal Alliance is set between 3 and 4. Follows Twi'lek mercenary Rena Sharan, who works for the Rebellion. Yeah. Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. I've never heard of this. Oh, this is the PSP one. Trippin'. Star Wars The Complete Saga, 2007. By the way, the PSP one came out in 2007 also.
Yeah.
Complete Saga, 2007. It's got all 6 Star Wars films in the game. Star Wars The Clone Wars. This is a leapfrog thing. Jedi Trials, another leapfrog thing. Star Wars Galaxies, the trading card game, 2008. Star Wars The Force Unleashed, 2008.
Yeah, follows Star Killer, right?
Star Killer, yeah. That's another piece of extended universe that I really
got
was into.
Scrapped, which is
I don't think it was ever canon, technically. I don't think Force Unleashed was ever considered canon.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, anything that came out under that, like,
well, I think when they like dropped the game, they were even like, "This is like kind of a what if thing."
Okay.
I could be wrong about that.
Maybe
though.
so. That Star Killer is the Padawan of Darth Vader,
right? So,
like during his apprenticeship under Palpatine, you know. So it's very interesting.
It is in my opinion, it's got one of the better extended universe like stories.
Yeah.
You know,
the only reason why I don't think it would be canon is because there can only be 2. There can only be 2 Sith at any given time. Like that's just the rule. You know, there's no way to, there's one to have the power and one to crave it.
Yeah.
So, but
at least in the Jedi pupil. Or in the Sith Lord pupil relationship, you know.
Yeah.
There can be multiple Sith Lords, but each Sith Lord can only have one.
No, there can only be 2 Sith that exist at any given time. Like the Sith
how
go
would
out
they
and
even
kill
have,
the other
like,
Sith.
The Sith fucking temple and shit, like where they train the Sith and shit.
There isn't one. There was one way back before Darth Bane, but after Bane there was no more of that. There was only 2 Sith at any given time. And that's why even in the Jedi Temple, Mace Windu is like, that's not possible. He's like, and if there is a Sith, he's like, there's that means there's another Sith.
Oh, I'm just going strictly off of the Sith school from KOTOR, so I guess that was a long time
ago. That
ago.
was way before.
Yeah.
That was way before.
I just figured the Sith haven't changed their ideals much. But...
No, Darth Bane changed all that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
And Darth Bane is canon, according to Clone Wars. So
interesting. Okay, so Star Wars: The Clone Wars Jedi Alliance. Let's see. Star Wars: The Clone Wars Lightsaber Duels. That came out to Wii. Jedi Alliance came to DS. Both came in 2008. Star Wars: The Clone Wars Republic Heroes 2009. That came to PSP and PS2. Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron, we just talked about that, but I guess it came to DS also.
Yeah,
in 2009.
that one got like a 4 out of 10.
I didn't know. I had no idea it came to DS also.
It's really bad.
Okay. All right, so we're getting close to the modern day. Let's see. There was a huge slowdown in Star Wars games at this point. You know
because
I mean?
it had been so long since any movies had come out, and there wasn't talks of the new trilogy yet coming.
Right.
So. But
But then around 2009, we started getting like Star Wars mobile games like a motherfucker. There's like Star Wars Trench Run, which is like, Star Wars Clone Wars Adventures, which came to Mac and PC. Star Wars The Battle for Hoth, which is an iPad game. That's 2010. Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, 2010, which is, in my opinion, equally as good as the first one.
Yeah.
Star Wars Imperial Academy. Okay, this is a 4-player deathmatch arena shooter for the iPhone and iPod Touch, and I had no idea this existed, and it looks cool.
Is it first person?
Yeah, it's first person. You got like a little sniper rifle. You're shooting stormtroopers and stuff.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it seems kind of cool, and it's 4-player. Star Wars Cantina, 2010. You're like run a cantina in Star Wars. Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. It tells the Clone Wars stories like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Star Wars The Old Republic, 2011. This is what we were talking about earlier.
This
replacing
is the MMO.
MMO replacing Galaxies, yeah. Connect Star Wars, 2012. Horrible, yeah.
Everybody thought it was going to be cool to have a Kinect Star Wars game.
It seems like the perfect Kinect game. I mean, let's just be real. Like, if any of the Kinect games should have done well, it should have been that one. But Gunstringer was the only good Kinect game. Angry Birds Star Wars, 2012. Lego Star Wars The Yoda Chronicles, but this was an iPod game. Angry Birds Star Wars 2, 2013. Star Wars Tiny Death Star, 2013. That's an iPod game.
Yeah.
Star Wars Assault Team, 2014 for PC. Lego Star Wars Micro Fighters, 2014 for PC. Star Wars Commander for PC. Star Wars Battle Pod, 2015. I don't even know what that came to. Star Wars Rebels Recon Missions 2015.
Yeah, because Rebels came out in 2014.
Right.
Yeah.
This one came to PC. Disney Infinity 3.0 Edition, which has Star Wars elements to it for Xbox 360, PS3. Star Wars Uprising for iPad.
Lots of mobile games.
Star Wars Battlefront Reboot 2015, PC, Xbox One, PS4.
EA's first game, because this is after LucasArts was shut down by Disney. Disney decided to go third party with their, or like out of, house to have their Star Wars games be made. So they entrusted EA to do this with Battlefront, which was all right. And then Battlefront 2, which was a complete letdown due to microtransactions.
Yes.
And then there was a campaign in it that's supposedly canon that nobody really cared for.
It was okay. It wasn't bad. The game itself was underwhelming, but the campaign was okay. After playing that other game I just played, it can't hardly fucking hold a candle to it.
Yeah.
Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes 2015.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens 2016.
Yeah, so they start getting into the new trilogy.
Yeah, they're on the ball with those Lego games. Star Wars Force Arena 2017. It's iPad. New 2017 Star Wars pinball game, just when you thought they were done.
Yeah, it's on Switch.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2017. Star Wars Droid Repay Bear, 2017, just when you thought you were done with that shit, too, on PC. Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series, 2019, on the Oculus Quest. And Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, 2019.
EA's only claim to fame when it comes to Star Wars games. So,
and upcoming, Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which will be coming next year.
That's a Lego game.
Yeah,
Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, don't get too excited.
Yeah, don't get people hyped about that. But they're also working. There's an untitled EA Star Wars game that's coming that they haven't even talked about yet. Ooh. So we'll see what that is. I believe there's 2 of them even.
I hope so. I want more Star Wars games. I want a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, and I think we're going to get it. I really do. I think we're going to get Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Maybe.
I think so. Wait till you end it.
Yeah, let me get to the end first, and then I'll talk more on that. But that's a Star Wars game history. You know, I feel like I had some stuff that I played. I played quite a bit of them.
Yeah, like I was kind of surprised how many I've tried as well. Yeah, you know,
that's really surprising. Except for all the mobile games, I haven't played like any of the Star Wars.
Some of those mobile games didn't look as bad as I thought they were going to, though. Yeah, I might want to go on the iPhone store and check it out.
Just try them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if there's some Star Wars games from history that you think that we missed or didn't miss, but we didn't talk enough about that you loved, let us know in the comments or in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast. David Horn, I know back whenever I went to Heritage Academy, the first time I ever went over there, you let me borrow Jedi Outcast on the PC because I had played it as a kid and wanted to play it again, and I appreciate that. I don't know if I ever got that back to you, but that was like 2008 or something. So yeah, word up, man. Anyways, so let's move on to the People's Champ. Brent, who's our People's Champ this week?
All right, this week I'm going to have to give it to Devin Mayer.
What up, boy?
What up, boy? You're constantly winning the People's Champion. You're back on top this week. He says, if each of you could design a Star Wars game to your heart's desire, what would those games look/be like? Mine would probably be something like an open galaxy MMORPG where your origin/start is completely randomized and you go from there and do whatever you want with the galaxy, or within that galaxy, given you're not fucked from the start, I suppose.
Almost sounds like Star Wars Galaxies,
right?
The MMO, but it wasn't random. Like, you could pick your class and race and stuff like that. But I do like your idea, though. Mine would probably be a full Darth Bane trilogy game. Like, I want that, since EA has the rights to the Star Wars games, and Darth Bane is technically canon, but they kind of erased all of Drew Karpyshyn's storyline with it. I say, fuck it, give it to EA and let them build out the lore for Darth Bane, because I want to know what the deal is with that and his apprentice, you know.
I like that. I'll tell you what I want. I want a game set in the Old Republic, like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, where it's like you're constantly leveling up and you're building up your party and you're like getting new skills and like you're talking to people and like solving problems with your words a lot of the time, you know what I mean? But I also want the combat from Jedi Fallen Order. So, like, no turn-based combat. Like, whenever, like, say you fail a dialogue thing and, like, your person...
You gotta
like,
fight?
Yeah, you gotta fight. So it goes into, like, fucking... He pulls out his lightsaber, and the combat would be almost, like, just like it. Like, with parries and dodges and, like, you know, you have to be, like, perfect timing, you know?
Very technical.
So it'd be, like, a mix of, like, skill-based, but also, like, conversation and,
RPG.
Like, yeah, RPG.
Very, like Outer Worlds type.
Yeah, but way harder than Outer Worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it would be, like, extremely difficult. Like, I want it... I don't know. It would be really cool.
Outer Worlds, Dark Souls, Star Wars.
Like Dark Souls, but you could talk your way out of a boss fight if you were quick enough on your feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like Outer Worlds. That's basically like that whole game is like... All I worked on was just, like, being able to talk my way out of shit. Anyways, Yeah, so thanks, Devin Mayer.
Thanks,
Let's go
Devin,
into the listener questions. We kind of gotta go through these pretty quickly.
All right. Jessica Wallace says, if you had to walk around looking like someone from a video game for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Well, since we're on Star Wars, I choose Jango Fett.
I'm going to go with Cal Kestis since we're on Star Wars.
Nice.
I feel like he's a good-looking fella.
Yeah, that's the guy from who plays Joker in Gotham.
Really?
It's literally him.
Wow.
Like, based on his looks, it's his voice and everything.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Barrett says, why was Jedi Outcast my favorite Star Wars game?
Because you have good taste, Barrett.
Excellent
That's why.
taste. That's true.
It's one of my favorites as well. So we're in the same boat here. Or
Really
the same starship.
Okay. Jessica again. She says, have you watched The Mandalorian yet?
Have you listened to us?
We be watching The Mandalorian.
We be watching The Mandalorian.
All right, we got Chad McLean here. He says, are you excited? They are making a KOTOR series / movie.
Very excited.
Yeah. And he also says, what's your favorite snack to munch on while you game? Chad, you ask us that a lot. and it changes every time. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's a good thing he asked. Recently, it's been Halo Top ice cream for me.
You know, for me, sorry, I'm moving quick. The potato chips Munchos. Have you ever had Munchos?
Oh my god, dude. You're like one of the only people that probably knows what Munchos are. Munchos are like the greasiest fucking potato chip that exists, but they're so salty.
They're so good.
It's like if you dip.
Haters gonna hate.
They're so good. I'm not hating. No, like I grew up on those bitches, dude. They're good. Munchos, they're in like the red brownish
they're
like
bag. $2. You get a huge bag of Munchos. We got John Hightower. He says, what is the best way to watch Star Wars for someone new to it? Which order?
So I just recently did this, and the best way to do this now that Disney Plus has all of them, actually, The Last Jedi, it will be here on like December 5th or something.
Yeah, it's coming.
So the best way to do this, just so your brain doesn't get fucked, watch the original trilogy. I'm talking like the 80s, or like, you know, the early or late 70s, early 80s trilogy. Watch that one first. Then go back and watch the newer trilogy, the new George Lucas Anakin trilogy, because then your brain won't be like, why does you won't be watching all the new shit and then go watch all.
I was wondering what your point was there. I was like, why would you but I guess I can see what you mean. Like, you want to start with the lower quality ones.
Yeah, watch lower quality, go into better quality, and then go.
It's a little confusing because, like, you have, like, semi-good quality and then bad quality and then really good quality.
Yeah.
So if you watch them all in order.
And everybody already knows what happens with Anakin, so it's not like you're going to spoil anything for yourself.
Yeah, that's, like, the big revelation there.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's actually more interesting to go back and watch Anakin become Darth Vader after you already know who Darth Vader is. So watch the old school shitty quality one. Even though they've been kind of updated in the Disney Plus ones, like there's a lot of CG added in the Disney Plus versions.
They like upscaled to like 4K or something.
Yeah, 4K. They added aliens that weren't there in the original.
Oh wow!
Like they've added like ships flying around that weren't actually there in the original.
Dope.
Yeah,
they gotta go rewatch that shit.
Yeah, they made it really nice. So watch that one, then watch the Phantom Menace through the Revenge of the Sith. And then go and watch the newer ones like Force Awakens and whatnot. So
cool. We got Kyle McAvoy here. He says, all digital console? Why? Pros versus cons.
I mean, I think whether we want it or not, it's going to happen eventually. But
if we're talking right now, like, should I get an Xbox One S with or without a disc drive?
No.
Obviously, you should get it with a disc drive.
Yeah, just because it gives you that option.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just silly. And especially with the next generation promising, like, backwards compatibility down the board. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I say hold on to discs as long as you can just because it gives you the option to use it or not.
I will say this. I saw a deal, a Cyber Monday deal, and it was like $150 for a discless Xbox One S. And I was like, that's a pretty fucking good deal. If you only have $150 and you just have to have an Xbox.
Yeah, but for like $25 more, you could get one with disc.
Yeah.
Probably. So it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Used.
Truth.
Nobody wants a dickless Xbox. No, discless Xbox.
All right, there you go. That's our listener questions.
Yeah, thanks for the questions, guys. We're gonna jump on over to the ending segment. Brent, take us there.
Super hardcore video game trivia challenge. These are 5 questions designed to F you up.
Ugh.
This week's topic is Lego in video games.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of inspired by all the Lego Star Wars games, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. This game, released in 1997, underwent a series of name changes before its release. One of the discarded names was Lego Town.
It's a Lego Island.
Boom! Ding, 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 ding. All right, number 2. This 1998 Lego game lets you put on a cowboy or pirate theme on a popular board game.
On a popular board game?
Mm-hmm.
It's a Lego board game?
Mm-hmm.
Lego Monopoly?
Oh, no.
Give me one more shot.
Okay. More popular than Monopoly, even.
Really?
More popular than Checkers.
More popular than Checkers?
Yeah. I would say so anyways. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like on par with Checkers, dude.
Is it Lego Chess?
Yeah, boom.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you kind of gave me that one.
Sorry.
But I'll take it anyway.
2 for 2 there. All right, the next one won't be so easy. This Lego game features an undercover cop named Chase McCain.
Yeah, that's a Lego Undercover or whatever.
Lego what Undercover?
Lego City.
Ah, you're good. Okay,
yeah.
3 for 3 on this one. This man knows his Lego games. This Lego rhythm game was developed in conjunction with Harmonix.
Oh, wow. I don't know what that one is. It's a Lego rhythm game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Lego Guitar Hero?
You're so fucking close.
Lego Rock Band? Okay.
Oh, man.
I was like, what else could it be? It's Harmonix.
All right. You got me there. 4 for 4, but this one.
But this
one will get you.
Okay.
This animated superhero movie got its own Lego game in June 2018.
A Lego superhero? An animated superhero movie? Is it a single superhero?
Maybe.
Or is it like multiple superheroes?
There's multiple superheroes.
So Lego Avengers?
Mm-mm.
Or
I thought you had it there for a second.
Okay, if it's not Avengers, is it DC or anything like that? Or is it like normal comic book heroes?
Might not even be any of that.
So Lego Ninjago?
Mm-mm.
2018
release.
Okay, I got one more shot here. If I don't get this, you got it. Superhero 2018 release. Is it Lego Spider-Man?
Mm-mm.
What is it?
It's Lego The Incredibles.
I would have never got that shit. God.
I had to have one brain teaser one on there for you.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go for more of the old school shit, so you got me on that
I'm
one.
I'm surprised you got some of these. Some of these were kind of hard, you know? That was a good one on yours.
Oh, man, I know my Legos.
On your end.
I know my Lego games. I was hoping for some Lego racers and stuff on there.
Oh, shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the old school Legos. Or, like, there was, like, this one Lego game back in the day where, like, you, like, dig underground. I forget what it's called, but it was tight. Anyways, remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is type in youtube.com/CreateForSanity. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Al-Jaffer Jamel and Brent at Brent Has One. And that's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast